It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland. Summer League is now underway in the NBA. Pistons, they'll start their first game this week, and a couple notable guys that will be on the roster will be playing in Summer League. Obviously, Ron Holland, second-year player, 5th overall pick in the 2024 draft. Chaz Lanier, who was the lone selection in this 2025 draft for the Pistons, taken at the top of the second round, will also be in action. But I gotta say, what I'm looking forward to most with this Pistons Summer League is not caring about it as much as I have in recent years. Now that the Pistons have become a competitive team, going to the playoffs last year, obviously losing in round 1, but coming into this season, their expectations into Summer League are way different than they've been the last few years. I mean, the highlight of the offseason for Pistons fans was gearing up for Summer League the last several years, right? Watching Cade Cunningham, watching Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren that season, watching Asar Thompson, now watching Ron Holland last year. Like, it was just a repeated cycle of looking forward to their top pick in Summer League, which there's nothing wrong with that, but Summer League should not be at the top of concerns for a good basketball team. Yes, I will be tuning into Summer League. No, I will not be fully invested like I have been the last several years because the Pistons have more important priorities this season, winning a playoff series. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Appointment radio across the state.
Remember that.
Hello, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show. Happy Tuesday to everyone out there in the Great Lakes Bay region. Happy Tuesday to everyone out there on our YouTube page as well. Bang indeed. It is Tuesday. We've got a lot to get to today. Look, we've got some Lions conversations to get to. We've got some college football conversations to get to in the 10 o'clock hour, but we're going to kick things off with the Detroit Tigers, the number one team in baseball, the hottest team in baseball, the team with the best record in the league. They get their fourth straight win yesterday, taking game one against Tampa Bay in what was a really unique game because you have the likes of Colt Keith continuing to thrive. Colt Keith is currently in the best stretch of his career. Last 35 games, very few players across the league, only a couple of players on the Detroit Tigers have been better than Colt Keith has. He's been in that leadoff spot against the right-handed pitching, and he dominated last night as he's done for the past month in that spot. So yesterday, 2 doubles, ends up hitting a home run as well, 3 hits in total on the day. Just 1 RBI, but just consistently getting on base, making contact with the ball, and finding ways to damage the fastball. He has crushed the fastball this season, specifically the past 45 days or so, to the point where I think I'm willing to raise my hand up and say I might have been wrong about something. Now, I never sat here and told you I don't like that they paid Colt Keith, but what I've said for the past year and a half was I don't understand why they paid Colt Keith. What was it about Colt Keith that they wanted to get ahead of everything and pay him? Because the first year and a half of paying Colt Keith ahead of time was a questionable thing to look back on because he didn't really look up and you didn't look at the numbers and think, well, this guy is going to be magnificent, right? And he was never viewed as a top 5 prospect, a top 10 prospect across baseball the way Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson were. Colt Keith had some great numbers in the minors, but the fact that the Tigers were willing to pay him prior to him ever playing a game in the majors, I just thought was bizarre, and I didn't understand why they did it. Well, if Colt Keith is going to continue to play like he has the past 35 games, the past month and a half, well, then this is going to be an absolute steal of a contract in terms of how the team values it. This is a team-friendly contract. He's making no more than $5 million for the next 6 seasons. After that, he's got a club option for 3 consecutive seasons. But the only time, like the max he's making, even with that, if the Tigers want to keep him, is about $13 million. Colt Keith, if he can continue to perform like this, Kyle, I believe is a key forward and a avenue forward for this Detroit Tigers team in a way that allows them to keep the likes of both Riley Green and Tarek Skubal. If they weren't to have paid Colt Keith, and all of a sudden you've got another name on the books to worry about paying in the long term, I just don't know what is and what isn't feasible in terms of who you can keep. Well, whether we like it or not, Colt Keith is a part of the long-term future of this team based on how they constructed his contract. They want him here long-term. And did that look real weird after a month into the season when they basically told him, hey, pal, you are not playing second base anymore? Every single day, Gleyber Torres is going to be there. And that was the right decision because Gleyber Torres is playing in an all-star game right now. So the fact that they had this guy under contract for this long and he already had to switch positions due to another guy, it didn't look good at the beginning. But now that Colt Keith is heating up at the plate and has a little bit of position versatility to him as well, playing a little third, playing a little first, mixing in some second base too, which I think is his natural position. I think the way that he's playing is a key and an avenue forward for this Detroit Tigers team to bridge the guys that are here now and the guys that are going to be there later. I look at what Colt Keith has done the past 35 days and say, all right, if this is the version of Colt Keith we are getting going forward, or if we're getting 70% of this version of Colt Keith going forward, and you expect some natural progression in there as well, I think that lets the Tigers off the hook in terms of paying Gleyber Torres, who's going to demand a big-time market this upcoming offseason. You look at who's getting paid among second basemen across the league. Gleyber Torres right now on this 1-year contract, $15 million, is the 3rd highest paid second baseman across baseball. It's not a giant market right now. Jeff McNeil is second. He's also being paid $15 million. And then Marcus Semien is making a whopping $26 million this season because the Rangers prematurely gave him a $175 million contract over the course of 7 years. That's $25 million per. I think they regret that because his numbers across the board are not as good as Gleyber Torres is. I don't think Gleyber Torres quite demands that much, but throw it in the middle of that. $20 million, 4 years, an $80 million contract. I just don't think the Tigers are going to be willing to pay that if they know we can get a way cheaper version of this for someone who could potentially be a better player in Colt Keith. He resorts back to second base. All of a sudden, you've got that spot locked up for the next decade, and it allows you, because you paid him at such a team-friendly deal, to be able to go sign a Riley Green, to be able to potentially re-sign Tarek Skubal. Now, a lot of these other guys, Spencer Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter, I don't know if that's as much of a guarantee. But what is guaranteed is Colt Keith is here for the long term, and the way he's playing over the past month, the way he's playing last night, you feel good about it if you're a Tigers fan. I thought it was weird. I never disliked the decision to pay him early. I was just confused on it. What did they see? Well, if this is what they saw at the minor league level, if this is what they always believed was going to happen, now it's all starting to make sense, Kyle. This is finally, the clouds are moving, the sun is coming out for the Colt Keith contract. Not that even if he was like an average player, it wouldn't have been that bad because, again, he's just not getting paid very much. Even though he did get paid, he's not getting paid this overwhelming amount. But you like to see some success from it. And now all of a sudden, it's looking like a very team-friendly deal if he can continue playing the way he's playing. Again, right now, it's the hottest he's ever been in his career.
Yeah, this is the guy that flew up the rankings as a minor leaguer. The guy that mashed in AA and AAA and shot all the way up to the majors from basically being a nobody, a former fifth-round pick. That's why they paid him, because of how well he was as a all-around hitter. But it just goes to show the character that he has as well. Like, I know we've talked about the versatility of not just him, but this Tigers team as a whole, like how everyone is willing to do whatever to win. And Colt Keith has been tossed around at first and third, but even when you started talking about it, he's been hitting leadoff ever since Parker Meadows came back and was like, you're the ideal leadoff guy, but right now you're just not that guy. Colt Keith gets thrown into that spot, and he's just been tremendous in that spot. So, yeah, I've always been on board with the Colt Keith contract. I know we discussed it several times here. I'm glad you're seeing the vision for sure. But yeah, it's awesome to see, especially with how good Glaber has been, kind of that counter with Colt Keith picking things up and being just as good as Glaber has been, ever since that rough start to the season for Colt.
Because we've kind of lightly brought this up, not really as a true topic, but just something to monitor is, are they going to pay Glaber Torres whatever his market value is? And last night was the first time I was like, I think you can just get away with not paying him, save yourself all this, like $20 million a season essentially, and just move Colt Keith back there for, a tenth of the price for the next 6 years. And then that gives you the money to go be able to retain Riley Green, retain Tarek Skubal. There are some other guys that are still in question. Who is a part of the long-term core of this team? Because right now the Tigers, best team in baseball. No surprise there. But they also have the number one farm system in baseball. And I think what Scott Harris has made clear is they're willing to move players at the deadline. But these three guys that we've talked about time and time again, Kevin McGonigal, Max Clark, Jose Briseño, these guys are the future of this Tigers team. And you look at what positions they play, whose spots they could potentially be playing. You stack up when guys are going to have to be paid based on arbitration. All of a sudden, I'm looking at the core, the long-term core of this team. Because let's just face it, they're the best team in baseball. I can sit here and tell you about it every single day from this point going forward. We can talk about who did great the night before. But at some point, I want to start thinking about the long-term success of this franchise. Because right now, this is one of the healthiest organizations in all of sports. It really is. The best team with the best farm system. Like, I know there's not a farm system in the NFL or college or the NBA or anything like that. But
it's like having a young core. Also being the best team.
Exactly. It's like having the best team and having all your draft picks too, the way like Oklahoma City has. Yeah. Or if the Lions wound up having all these first round picks still, that is the equivalent of what the Tigers have found themselves in, the situation they found themselves in. You can sell all these guys at the deadline. I'm going to be honest, I'm not opposed to doing that. But it's more than likely that those top three guys in Briseño, Clark, and McGonigal aren't going anywhere. So you have to start thinking about whose spots are they taking down the line, because they are now one step closer to being at the big league level. All three of them promoted to AA over the weekend. Promote AAA, and then they're there and knocking on the door and threatening to take some of these Tigers' jobs. I want to know who you think is a part of the long-term core of this team. 989-837-6125. Whether you like it or not, Colt Keith is a part of it. I'd love to tell you Riley Green is part of it. You still got to get the contract done. But that's the one I have the most confidence in. This isn't even a Tarek Skubal conversation. I don't really want it to turn into a Tarek Skubal conversation because obviously every single person listening and watching on our YouTube wants Tarek Skubal to be a Detroit Tiger. There's no excuse for him to not be. He's going to be the highest paid player in baseball. He's going, at least the highest paid pitcher in baseball. Shohei's kind of in his own planet. Bring him back. He gives you a ticket to being a successful team and having a chance at a World Series. Bring him back. That's not what this is about. What this is about is evaluating the market value of guys, evaluating positional value, evaluating when each guy is due for a pay raise in a new contract, and deciding who is a part of this long-term core. Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter, even Wenzel Perez, Zach McKinstry, who continues to be a dominant player in 2025, Colt Keith. Who is here for the long run? 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on a Monday. We've still got a lot to get to today. Again, some Lions conversations and some college football conversations coming up by the time the show's done at noon. Hey, if you guys need some gear or a donut, you got to head to Ace Hardware and Sports, locally owned and proudly family operated right here in the heart of Midland. Take advantage of $3 off Ortho Weed Killer, proven power to get your yard back, or go bigger with $10 off Spruce Weed and Grass Killer. Tough on weeds, easy on your wallet. Visit them on East Main Street, downtown Midland, right where local service meets big-time savings, supporting your yard and your community all in one stop. Oh, and did I mention you can get a donut there? 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on a Tuesday here on the Great Lakes, in the Great Lakes Bay region on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think. If you That's really a great point, yeah. And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am and what I stand for. And, you know, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you know, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you know, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it. Yeah. And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman Night at Dow Diamond on Saturday, July 12th. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive an exclusive Super Lou E bobblehead courtesy of My Michigan Health. Create a lasting memory after the game as you take in Fireworks Loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Don't miss this super night of fun. Get your tickets at loons.com.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Colt Keith in the middle of the best stretch of his career, an 884 OPS and a 313 average, 3 home runs, 11 doubles. That's over the course of the past 35 games. That 313 average is second on the team over that stretch, only behind
Zach McKinstry?
Nope.
Riley Green?
Nope. One more guess.
Wenzel Paris?
Nope. Of
Man,
course, it's Jahmai Jones.
Oh, right.
Obviously.
Yes. We're not counting qualified hitters. Okay.
Yeah, no, of course. Well, the thing about Colt is he does still struggle versus the lefties. He only has a 414 OPS versus them right now. But the way that they're using him, kind of leadoff spot against the righties, either have him at third base or as DH, especially with Kerry Carpenter right now on IL. I'm actually okay with that. They'll get him at bats at lefties. He'll get better at them at some point. Still young enough to do so. But
talk about the perfect time to buy Colt Keith stock yesterday, huh? Right before his best game of the year.
Are you selling right now? I mean, the stock market's only open on Mondays.
Wait till next Monday, yeah.
It wouldn't be a bad sell because ideally one of us should have bought Colt Keith stock a month ago, right at the beginning of this hot spell.
Right.
But hey, you recognized it, you jumped on it, and yesterday he had the best game of his career. I don't know about career. He had a 5-hit game or a 4-hit game last year, but hey, 2 doubles.
I mean, 3
a
extra base
home
hits
run.
Yeah.
That's about as good as it gets for especially a leadoff hitter. Only 1 RBI, but that's kind of the reason. So, you know what else I was thinking about yesterday? And this is kind of irrelevant to the conversation I'm kind of steering this towards, but how many other teams in MLB history do you think can say that they have a all-star in the 9-hole the way that the Tigers do with Javi Baez? That has to be so rare. I can't imagine that's happened very much across baseball.
Right.
Where our 9-hitter on most nights is an all-star. I get
play.
that, but that's also in AJ Hinch's that supercomputer brain of his, just calculating and seeing it. Like, you know what I mean, though? It's just one thought that crossed my brain during yesterday's game, 5-1 win against Tampa Bay. But the other thing that was on my mind for the most part was, hey, if Colt Keith's going to keep playing like this, I'm going to be okay with letting Gleyber Torres walk. I would project that market value for him this offseason is going to be about 4 years, $80 million. Kind of signed to a prove-it deal this year on the 1 year, $15 million, and has done more than prove it because he's been the best second baseman across baseball so far this season. So a 4-year, $80 million contract, slightly less than the Marcus Semien deal, which that's kind of mind-blowing.
Has become a disaster.
Yeah, 7 years, 175 for a guy who doesn't really seem
was really good a couple years ago.
Yeah, but I think that's pretty fair. And if that's going to be the market value of $20 million a year, I don't really know why the Tigers operating the way that they do. And again, we can debate whether this is a big market team or a mid-market team and their spending habits. But what we do know is this team isn't going to spend like the Dodgers or Yankees. I could sit here and blow a gasket about it because it annoys me. Chris Ilitch is the 5th richest owner in baseball, but it's just simply not going to happen. So you got to start thinking about it realistically, which is get off the Gleyber contract, let Colt Keith replace him and take over that second base spot again. And all of a sudden you've got another $20 million to start spending next offseason because you're not paying Gleyber Torres. And Jack Flaherty's not going to be making as much. And Kenta Maeda is finally going to be off your books. And Alex Cobb's going to be off your books. So you're actually going to have a good amount of money to spend next offseason on another 1-year contract if you want to. But if you're looking at this team beyond just this season and next season, I started to map out, okay, when is everybody getting paid, right? Wenzel Perez still has 2 years of pre-arbitration left, so he's on the team making essentially nothing forever. Again, the way that the CBA is set up and the way that the players get paid, I think, is a joke, and they should hold out to try to get a different collective bargaining agreement. Parker Meadows still has 2 years of pre-arb left, so he's not getting paid anytime soon. McKinstry has 2 more years of arbitration left, so 2 more years before you actually have to sign him to some real money if you want to do so. But the big 3, Torkelson, Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, all have 3 more years of arb. all three of those guys are due for a big-time pay raise the exact same year. I hate to break it to everybody. You're going to have to start picking and choosing which of those guys is coming back and which one of them's not 3 years from now. There is no chance in hell Sky Harris and Chris Ilitch are paying all three of Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, and Kerry Carpenter. And I'm just throwing that out there to put it on the radar for everybody. Because you have to start thinking of replacement plans for those guys. And you look at the minor league system, and I look at Torkelson, and I see a Jose Briseño down there. I look at Kerry Carpenter, and I see a guy who only plays versus one half of pitching. And then I look at a Max Clark, another outfielder. Hell, I look at a Wenzel Perez, who hits on both sides of the plate and can hit against both lefties and righties. If you have to start picking and choosing, Riley Green is obviously amongst position players atop the list. Colt Keith, you've already decided to pay. Gleyber Torres has kind of outplayed his contract to the point where someone else can pay him and you feel okay about it, letting him walk. Gleyber Torres takes over at second base. Zach McKinstry is the only one I can't figure out. I don't know if the Tigers are going to pay Zach McKinstry.
I would assume they want to, but like, what kind of deal does that guy get?
No idea. I don't even know what to compare it to. But I look at those three guys, and Parker, like I said, Parker and Wenzel still have so many years that you don't even have to start thinking about it. But in terms of the long-term future of the Detroit Tigers, Colt Keith has allowed them to go down an avenue where you can consider paying multiple guys. You already paid Colt. You got to start paying Riley at some point. But with who's in the minor league system, I just don't really envision them bringing back Kerry Carpenter or Spencer Torkelson right now. And that sounds crazy to say out loud. But between Jose Briseño and Parker Meadows and Max Clark and Riley Green, I think you're going to be okay. And eventually Javi's going to be off the books, and that spot's clearly going to McGonigal at shortstop. But I don't know. I think about the Tigers, what it looks like 3 years from now. I think it's Riley Green, Max Clark, Parker Meadows in the outfield. I think it's McGonigal, Colt Keith, and Briseño in the infield. Third base remains mystery for the rest of time. The Tigers won't have a real third baseman for the rest of the time. Who knows? Dingler behind the dish. You don't have to start thinking about that one for a while. And Wenzel Perez is the DH because I think right now, just straight up, I know he doesn't have the moments, but he just feels like a more valuable asset than Kerry Carpenter, as crazy as that sounds.
In 2025 he is, yeah.
Sure. He's younger. He's a way better defender, better on the base paths, stays healthier, hits on both sides of the plate, hits both left and right-handed pitching, has a little bit of power too. Like, it's crazy to say out loud because of how much we fell in love with Kerry Bonds last year, but I don't think it's all that crazy, do you?
No, I don't think it's all that crazy. And as far as like these guys you have for the long term, like, it's a good problem to have, but it is a problem at the end of the day. But as far as the spending thing goes, we know that the Ilitch group won't pay free agents. That's what we've learned. We don't know if they'll pay their own guys. That's a different kind of ball game, right? The guys that you developed, that grew up in your park, that the fans know and love, we don't know if they're willing to spend for those guys. I think it's much different than going out and getting free agents. You know? I'm not like taking their side and I'm saying like, yeah, they'll for sure pay everybody. Them having those guys in the minor league system definitely makes you think that maybe they won't pay everyone. But I don't know. When it's your own players that you've seen and the fans have a real connection to, then it becomes a little bit different. But it's nice that they have a little bit of insurance.
And you know what makes this all possible? The Colt Keith contract extension. The fact that Colt Keith got that money early, and it's, like I said, 2.8 this year, 3.8 next year, 4.3 26, 4.3 27, 28 and 29 is both 5.3. So up until 2030, this guy's making less than $6 million no matter what. If he keeps playing like he's been the past month and a half, that might be one of the best contracts in baseball. And then even after that, you hope by then, in 2030, you know, he's developed into one of the best second basemen in baseball. It's only $10 million, $13 million, $15 million. And if it's not working out, club option. You just get rid of him, just like that. Get him to a new contract. I finally see the vision. I didn't understand it. I thought it was weird. I don't know what it was about Colt Keith that they decided to pay him early compared to not paying anyone else early. Now it's finally starting to make sense. Yesterday, one of the best games of his career. 989-837-6125. This is from John from Midlands. Baseball contracts are a gamble because if they go bad, they are more like a prison sentence for an organization. With that being said, they have to pay Skubal and Green. I believe they can take the risk because of their very young core and talent in the minors who won't need to be paid for another 3 to 5 years. Yeah, not only the guys in the minors right now, but even Dylan Dingler, Wenzel, Perez, Parker Meadows. Those are 3 guys you don't even have to start thinking about for another 5 seasons. So I like that those guys, and even the not top 100 prospects that we keep talking about, like they just find ways to continue developing guys.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Bryce Rayner's a guy we haven't even talked about. I know he's a little bit longer out, but
and banged
he's a Tigers
up
number
right
3
now.
prospect.
Right. Like they just find these guys. They even the guys that are in AAA. I know Jace Young hasn't worked out, and there's some other guys in AA, but they're so good at developing even after guys get to AAA and AA.
Right.
Even like
Kerry Carpenter, even.
Wenzel Perez, and Kerry Carpenter. Like those are both prime examples of like we're going to continue developing these guys even after they've gotten to the majors. Who's the next guy that ends up like that? Who knows? 989-837-6125. We'll hit the Mint messages and the news when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
A successful holiday weekend for Great Lakes, taking 2 of 3 at home against the top team in the Midwest League, the West Michigan Whitecaps. The Loons took 4 of 6 overall, with the first 3 games being in West Michigan. It was a fun series filled with 5 top 100 prospects. A lot of offense as well from Great Lakes, including this big-time grand slam on Saturday night from Zaire Hope.
1-0. Hope swings, hard hit, in the air to left, Murr, back to the wall, and gone! Zaire Hope's 3rd against the Whitecaps this season, the 2nd in July, and a grand slam that makes it 7-2.
Loons are right back here at Dow Diamond for 6 more starting Tuesday night, hosting the Lansing Lugnuts. First pitch, 7:05. Pregame coverage starting at 6:50 here on The Mitt.
Hey everyone, Brad Tunney here with The Mitt. And I want to talk to you about my friends over at Maple Hill Nursery, one of the great local family-owned businesses in our region for over 40 years. Now, their specialty is in landscaping with expertise and high-quality trees, plants, and shrubs. They're also a full stocking dealer of Dairy Dew, and they've got polywood furniture. Now, I've got it all over my backyard. It's maintenance-free and long-lasting and comes in 18 different colors. Stop by Maple Hill Nursery, just 2.5 miles north of the Midland Mall on Eastman.
Mountain View Restaurant at Apple Mountain, where casual elegance meets breathtaking views. Our new expanded menu features a wide variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, from fresh seasonal options to your all-time favorites. Whether you're hosting a client lunch, enjoying happy hour, or planning a date night, we have the perfect setting for every occasion. Don't miss our weekly features and refreshing beverages. In the summer, dine al fresco on our beautiful patio and soak in the scenery. Mountain View, where great food meets spectacular views.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
It's July, it's hot, and Bounce & Bites is bringing the splash. Every bounce house, slide, and inflatable at our event will be soaked and ready for action. Water slides, splash zones, and giant slip and slides. Bring your swimsuits, towels, and sunscreen. We'll have the food trucks, the music, and a whole lot of good vibes. It's free to attend, and every dollar raised helps local kids get involved in sports, music, and more through the Moody Foundation. Join us Sunday, July 20th in Midland. Details at bounceandbites.com. The word bounce, the letter N, the word bites.com. The Moody Foundation, making a splash for a great cause.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Michigan needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). We asked the question, who is a part of the Tigers' young core? We'll get to some text here right now. Jesse says Green, Torres, Baez, Torkelson, McKinstry, Carpenter, Perez, Skubal. So everybody.
I guess Baez technically is a part of the future for now. Obviously, still under that 6-year deal.
But he's not coming back after this contract. Everyone knows that, right?
Is he? Is he not?
No, that's you have your number one prospect in baseball plays shortstop.
Javi Baez doesn't play shortstop right now, man.
That's true.
He's the whole third baseman.
Will the Tigers ever have a real answer at third base, or is it just going to be this revolving door?
I'm just praying that, does Bryce Rayner have the arm to play third? Can they draft someone in Sunday's draft that can? Is how you lead potentially something?
But you don't draft third baseman, right? Most of these, if they're infielders, they're just shortstops in high school.
Right, or they just get thrown to second.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Torkelson was originally a third baseman, man.
That's true. That's true. Matt says Green, Job, Keith, Carpenter, Dingler, and Skubal.
The fact that there is so many different answers is really a good thing.
Well, it's a good thing, for sure. I'm surprised how much Carpenter I'm getting. I love what Carpenter has done for this organization and team. It's more than any of us could have possibly expected from him or asked of someone like that who was drafted in the billionth round of the draft. But he only hits right-handed pitching. When he's not hitting right-handed pitching, it's somewhat of a hole in the lineup. He's not the best defender. He's kind of got a cannon of an arm, but based on what we've seen from Wenzel Perez just has a better one. I'm not really there on Kerry Bonds right now being a part of the long-term core. The more we talk this out, the more I'm like, I'd rather just have Perez. Kind of just does more for the team. Rather just have these guys in the minor league system. I don't know.
Yeah, but
it feels weird to say out loud,
people
though.
Still, no, you're right. The reason why people still do believe this way is because of the emotional attachment of what happened in September last year.
Correct. Which is fine.
It is totally fine. I'm the same way.
It's fine for
I don't
fans.
want Kerry Carpenter to leave.
I don't know.
He hit the most important baseball that the Tigers have had in 10 years. That is the biggest play that the Tigers have had in a decade. How do you just turn away from that?
Because you have a better option. And right now, it kind of as nuts as that sounds.
6 months later, whatever, 8 months later.
Hey, they've still got time to make this decision. All I'm saying is, if you had a gun in my head right now, and I had to pick keeping one person between Kerry Carpenter and Wenzel Perez, I think you got to think about it a lot. You got to think about it way longer than you realize. Just based on how many different things Perez does.
Right.
One more. Bruce says, not Glaber. I say let him walk after this year because you have Magana Gill. Spelled it Magana Gill.
Yeah, I'm with Bruce here. I think that, and I know that we don't need to do a long-term discussion on this, but
you don't want to talk about.
They never expected Glaber Torres to be this good.
Oh, hell no.
Their plan was not to have this dilemma of, man, are we going to sign him to a 5-year extension? There's no way they will.
Which is kind of funny because I didn't really expect When I went to go do the prep on it last night, I was like, Gleyber Torres is the third highest paid second baseman across baseball already.
You know, I mean, you don't pay second baseman unless they're the Jose Altuves of the world.
Right. Franchise
The
player.
Ozzy Albies of the world. Which
is part of the reason I just
superstars.
Don't really think the Tigers are going to, and this leads all the way back to...
And they already paid a second baseman. That's
Correct.
what you got to remember.
And then that almost leads me right into like a completely different conversation that I feel pretty strongly about. Of they need to have a salary floor, because you know what would be bad for baseball is if the Dodgers or Yankees were just, well, I guess he was already a Yankee. I doubt there's a reunion happening there. But if the Dodgers were like, you can come play second base for us, here's your 4-year, $80 million contract, when in reality, some bad team should be they should be forced to spend that money to spread the money out across Major League Baseball rather than one team just saying, here's all the money. And you have
I will say
8
this.
teams that just refuse to spend.
To your point earlier about if the Ilitches would spend, then maybe they would pay Gleyber Torres. I genuinely think even if they were willing to extend him, it just doesn't make sense for them to.
You're right.
Even if they were willing to give him whatever deal he wanted, I'm still it doesn't really make sense.
There's only one team that would do this. And we saw the Dodgers do it with Teoscar Hernandez last year. It was like, yeah, you don't really have to pay him. You've got other options. It was like, bet. We're going to do it anyway. We have unlimited money supply over here.
The Tigers are in, I think, a different situation, though.
Yeah.
With the amount of guys coming up, ready to play.
Very much so. 989-837-6125. I know I said one more, but I'll sneak one more in. Joe said Rayner to third base. Who knows? Potentially. Still pretty young down in Lakeland. Is he out for the season?
Get healthy soon. Yes, he is.
It was the full year. I know he dislocated his shoulder diving back into first base.
Because he's getting shoulder surgery. Most of the time, you take stuff pretty slow with those guys. So
there's no rush. 989-837-6125. Let us hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, Kyle.
We actually have a good amount of news today. Big news on Netflix. The Quarterback Show dropping today. Are you going to be watching this?
I'll watch it eventually. We got Loons games this week, and I've got college football games to play on Xbox.
Busy guy, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Eventually. But it also seems like something I'm going to watch the first episode to and then kind of forget about.
That's literally what I did last season.
I don't know how everyone's already posting like all the Jared Goff clips on Twitter and things. Like, what is everyone? Everyone just wake up and just
start
watching.
Sent you?
No, I haven't.
You gotta watch it during break. It's him getting really mad about his offensive line during a game.
Oh no,
You're
no,
gonna
no.
love it. You're
right. I'm gonna hate watch the hell out of that video.
The news though that has come from this quarterback show so far this morning that I've seen is the Kirk Cousins stuff actually. Essentially saying if he would have known they were going to draft Michael Penix, he would have went back to Minnesota. Just says that in this doc. And he didn't find out until Atlanta was on the clock that they were going to pick Penix.
Still one of the funnier things that's happened in the draft the past few years. It's like, they're doing what?
Like for Kirk Cousins, who's genuinely probably the nicest guy in the entire NFL, to say this openly. Imagine if this was like a drama queen.
Right. Like Aaron Rodgers? What would have happened if the Packers would have drafted another quarterback while this guy was winning MVPs? That'd be crazy.
It would be very crazy. Let's move on. The Pistons Summer League roster has been released. Here are some notable players that will be playing. Ron Holland, Chaz Lanier, Bobby Klintman, all a part of the Pistons roster likely this season. The big news, though, for Ron Holland, switching from 00 to 5 number-wise this year. Malik Beasley rocked number 5 last year. Is that basically a confirmation?
I don't think Beasley ever plays again. I will say this. Players be switching jersey numbers way too often these days. Someone's got to look out for the fans. There needs to be some sort of protection on if you buy a jersey.
Everyone
and a player
who bought
switches.
the Gibbs jersey.
I feel bad for him. Or the JMO jersey.
I got the JMO jersey.
We got to put another restriction on jersey change. We went too far the other way, where we just allowed players to do whatever they wanted.
Just switching twice on the Lakers,
it's gone too far.
It has gone too far. More Pistons news. The Dennis Schroeder Pistons Kings stuff, whatever you want to call it, is finally resolved. Not in necessarily a good way for the Pistons. They do not do a sign and trade to acquire a player. It is a sign and trade, though. They get a $14.8 million player exception to use in a trade.
Do you think Troy's...
And then they swap second-round picks.
Do you think Troy's going to do it? You think he's going to do anything, or is he just going to sit on his butt the rest of the offseason?
Look, I see a lot of Pistons fans are excited about this, and they're like, oh, they threw in a second-round pick, so they have to be using this. Teams don't use the player exceptions in trades, or trade exceptions. They wouldn't have traded with them if they weren't, like, if they didn't want the option. Otherwise, Dennis would have just signed there. It wouldn't have been a sign and trade. They've got at least the option to do so now, but Trajan has done nothing this offseason. Nothing. He has done more than nothing.
He brought in Duncan Robinson for $47 million. I would have just rather paid Luke Kennard on a one-year deal $11 million.
That sounds like something to me.
I would have rather just paid Luke Kennard and brought him back for a way cheaper price.
Okay. Big news in the college hockey scene. Projected number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NHL draft, Gavin McKenna, has committed to Penn State, was playing in the WHL for the Medicine Hat Tigers. And it's just kind of unorthodox for him to go play college the year before entering the draft. It was down to Penn State and Michigan State, and he chose the Nittany Lions.
Michigan State hockey school? Question mark?
Low key? Kinda.
It's not a football school.
McKenna's getting like the Crosby, Connor McDavid comparisons here.
The Michael Nisa. The Michael Nisa treatment.
So this is going to be pretty exciting. Tough he didn't choose MSU, though.
Hockey school.
Okay, I got some news trivia for you, Ben.
Manny
Machado, his 2000th career hit last night, becoming the 297th player in MLB history to do so. The 5th active player with 2,000 career hits. Who are the other 4?
2,000 career hits, 4 other active players.
Here's a hint. They're old.
Thanks, Kyle. Altuve.
Yep. You got 2 first basemen and an outfielder.
There's no way it's Trout, right?
No. He's got to be like kinda.
Schwarber? No. Alonso? No,
not even close. Tigers saw one of the outfielder pretty recently. Kind of killed us.
Oh.
Former MVP.
Oh. McCutchen?
Yep, McCutchen. They got 2 first basemen. Both of these guys are former MVPs, I believe.
AL or NL?
One's AL, one's NL. But the AL guy, you know him as an NL guy.
I don't.
Both really good teams. They're both on really good teams.
Goldschmidt?
Yes, Paul Goldschmidt's the AL guy.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
He's the lowest guy on the list other than Machado.
Give me
this guy's the
one.
number 1 guy. Most hits by any active player in MLB.
Just give it to me.
Freddie Freeman.
Yes.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Okay, let's do one last thing, and then we'll save the rest for later. The Orlando Magic have extended their star, Paolo Banchero, to a 5-year, $239 million max rookie contract extension that can get all the way up to $287 million if he makes All-NBA next year, which good chance he does. This also has a player option in 2031, which is very rare for rookies to get the rookie option. But the Magic throwing out that big money.
Good for Paolo, man. The Paolo versus Cade, who's a better player argument, I hope goes on for another decade. Whose Eastern Conference will it turn into?
Is it even an argument, man?
I think it's a pretty good one. You don't? You think one of those guys is clearly better than the other? I love Paolo. I really like Paolo.
Give me Cade.
That's fine. Miss me on all the, Evan Mobley, Jalen Green kind of stuff. But
Jalen Green, right.
Yeah, that doesn't even, I don't know why I brought him up. I really like Paolo, though. I think he's a stud. All right, 989-837-6125. It is officially golf season. And if you're like me, you're looking for all sorts of new places to play. Golfers, look no further. Apple Mountain in Freelands, where every round comes with a scenic side of perfection. Championship level courses, beautifully maintained with just the right mix of challenge and fun. And when you're wrapping up 18, head to Apple Mountain Restaurant, the perfect place for a casual elegance and spectacular views. Whether you're playing for score or just soaking up the atmosphere, Apple Mountain is your place to unwind, recharge, and enjoy the game. Apple Mountain in Freeland, minutes away but miles from ordinary. Day before the 4th of July, that would be the 3rd of July, Kyle and I went and played Brad and Sarah, our director of sales and our GM here at the station in golf. A lot of talking throughout the week. A lot of smack talk, threats. There was a lot of juice. That was the first time I'd golfed.
Slander coming our way.
That was the first time I'd golfed with real stakes, even though there wasn't really anything on the line besides pride and bragging rights. No big deal. Kyle and I got the job done,
We're kings of the mitt, it's nothing crazy.
I shot a 113. You shot a 111.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That part we probably didn't need to include.
Hey, no, we're being honest.
And somehow we won.
We're being honest,
let
open,
that sink in.
And vulnerable with the people. They'll appreciate it. 989-837-6125. Hey, we talked a lot about these Tigers core guys. Well, Parker Meadows isn't someone we've really mentioned. He is kind of upsetting me as of late. That's next here on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Hey parents, got a young athlete at home? Sign them up for the Greater Midland Try Kids Try Youth Triathlon, Saturday, July 19th at Plymouth Park in Midland. Kids ages 6 to 15 will swim, bike, and run their way through the finish line in a fun, supportive environment. And don't miss the mini TKT for ages 3 to 5 happening Friday, July 18th. Register now at greatermidland.org/races. That's greatermidland.org/races.
When someone asks me, when is the best time to start saving for retirement, my answer is simple. Today. I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor. I can help you build a plan for your ideal retirement by identifying your unique goals and keep you on track to achieve them. The sooner you get started, the better.
Edward Jones financial advisor Kevin Spencer at 416 West Wackerly in Midland, under the green awning. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofFramesFest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman Night at Dow Diamond on Saturday, July 12th. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive an exclusive Super Lou E bobblehead courtesy of My Michigan Health. Create a lasting memory after the game as you take in Fireworks Loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Don't miss this super night of fun. Get your tickets at loons.com. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back in. Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt, live on YouTube as well. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Appreciate everyone who has already done that. Look, we don't need to spend too much time on this. I don't want to. I'm trying to keep it positive today, Tuesday, happy days. Parker Meadows, some of these at-bats, man, are like infuriating. There is not, like, he's having Javi Baez at-bats on a somewhat regular basis. And I don't mean Javier Baez at-bats. I mean the old school 400 OPS, Javi Baez make you want to spoon your eyeballs out type of at-bats. Look, I love Parker. I've been a huge advocate of Parker Meadows. I think he does everything you want in a baseball player. Elite, like 1% Golden Glove type of outfielder. Electric on the base paths. Walks an okay amount. But, man, some of these at-bats are infuriating. If I was an opposing team's pitching coach, I'd be telling the person, just throw a breaking ball low and in 3 times in a row, and you more than likely are going to get 3 swing and misses. I was trying to look into this, and if someone has a way to help me out, please feel free. I would be willing to bet he has the most 3-pitch strikeouts on the team, and he's only been on the team for a little over a month. How many times does he just instantly go down 0-2 and then someone throws him a ball low and inside and he just swings?
It's been a lot as of late.
He had another one yesterday. It feels like once a game there's a 3-pitch at bat.
It feels like more than a slump right now for Meadows.
That's why he's not in the leadoff spot.
Like, you go through slumps, right. But, I mean, like you said, the at-bats just look pitiful. Like, he looks almost lost up there. Some of the swing and miss is just like, you didn't even want to swing at that.
No.
It's a lot of second-guessing swinging, for sure.
There's a mental block, it feels like, right now.
I would say so.
I mean, like, even going to the game, there's some people making comments around me that were like, he predetermined swinging. Like, yeah, you're kind of right. Like, he kind of just goes out there. He's like, I got to get a hold of this. Like, I got to fix my batting average. Because the way you get into an even bigger slump, the way you dig yourself an even deeper hole is trying to convince yourself that you got to get out of your slump and you need some hits. And that's where it feels like Parker Meadows is struggling right now, and he's swinging at everything. And that low and inside pitch
but
is
yet
his
he brings enough value
right now
to where he's still going to play.
Right. Because there's no one I'd rather have in center field right now.
Right.
It's not worth
even
giving
on the
him
base
an off
pad.
day.
There's not many other guys you'd rather have running the bases if he does get on. So
I would like him to be a little bit more of a threat on the base paths. Not that he's not one, but I watch a Byron Buxton when they had that Twins series a couple of weeks ago at this point. It's like, this dude's a menace. He's just constantly messing with the other team's, like the Tigers pitching staff. Whenever he gets on, he's just being annoying. And the Tigers it doesn't really feel like they have that sort of player right now. they're not super aggressive in terms of stealing bases, and they make up for it with just how aggressive they are from first to third and second to home, and Joey Cora doing the helicopter trying to send people home. But I would like the Tigers to be a little bit more aggressive on the base paths just in terms of stealing. I don't know. They're so good at the other side of it. Anyone tries to steal on the Tigers, they stand no chance against those catchers behind the dish. 989-837-6125. We are going to work in some football in the 10 o'clock hour coming up. It is the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think. That's really a great point, yeah. And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am and what I stand for. And, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it. Yeah. And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Nine 837-6125. We've been talking about the Detroit Tigers. We're going to talk about the Lions here coming up. We've got some college football to work in as well. But one more thing, man. Zach McKinstry, I don't know how to qualify him. He's not like a key person to the core that that's kind of been the conversation we've had in the 9 o'clock hour. And he hasn't really come up that much, but he's definitely more than a role player. And after Sunday, where he plays first base, he's officially played 6 different spots in the field just this season. First, second, short, third, left field, right field. I was shocked that he hadn't played center field yet, but I guess the more I thought about it, Parker Meadows has been out there every day since he's returned. And then Javi Baez was kind of in that spot, and Riley Green a little bit too. I guess I was just surprised he doesn't have at least
Perez too.
Perez. I was surprised he doesn't have at least 1 inning out there. I almost want them to just throw him a bone and just so he can say that he's played 7 innings.
Yeah, well, who was it? It was one of the Romines. I think Austin Romine or Andrew Romine did that for the Tigers.
Inge did it too.
Yeah, where they pitched him in the final game of the year just to get him all the positions.
Yeah. I don't remember if a Romine did that. I know Inge did that for sure.
Well, I think Romine did it like every single inning. Like he swapped positions.
Oh, he just kept
for
going?
the whole game. Yeah.
That's elite.
In like the last game of the year.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers did that with McKinstry at some point. I don't ever envision him behind the dish the way that Inge could once in a while, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got him on the mound at some point this season. Why not? Why not? You only need 2 more spots to get to 8. But he's been so clutch this year. His 7th home run yesterday. He's been such a key piece to this team. We had the conversation in the 9 o'clock hour. Who's going to be here for the long run? Who is not? And with 2 more years of arbitration left for Zach McKinstry, this is the one guy that I don't really know what to compare it to. I don't really know whether I even want him here in the long term. Obviously, like if he's free and you get the choice, yeah, but I have no idea what this guy's market value would even be. I don't even know what to compare it to. But with how valuable
especially just
he is,
what he's been too, prior to this season.
Right, because it's not like all of a sudden after just 1 year, you're like, yep, this is the best utility guy in the league. He has been this year, but, Gunnar Henderson still exists and a couple other guys. If you could see this again for 3 straight seasons, though, this year and then his 2 more years of arbitration, then all of a sudden, I just don't know what to compare it to. Mookie effing Betts? Like, no.
Okay.
But that's what we've seen from him this year. You know what I mean? He's played all across the field and has a 280 average. Again, like this is more than a role player, but I don't know if I'd consider him a part of the long-term core of this team. Then again, anybody got another option at third base right now?
Right. Was also featured in ESPN's All-Star Snub article this morning.
We've come such a long way with McKinstry.
He might sneak in.
Well, you know what it comes down to? Whether or not Alex Bregman's going to be healthy.
Which
seems
part of the news
air.
I didn't get to is that he will be returning prior to the All-Star break to the Red Sox lineup.
Yeah, so McKinstry's probably not going to be in the All-Star game.
He's just going to come right back up, he said.
Is this going to be an ultimate blessing in disguise that he's not an All-Star, though?
McKinstry?
Because then you're going to have to, like, as a fan, yeah, you want as many of your guys in the All-Star game as possible. But all of a sudden, if you're his agent and you can start negotiating, well, look how many positions he plays. He was an All-Star. Look at his numbers on offense. Like, then all of a sudden that becomes a negotiating tactic and something that you can really hang your hat on if you're representing Zach McKinstry at the negotiating table.
But like him being an All-Star or not doesn't change the season he's having.
No, I agree with that. But I mean, I look at it with Gleyber Torres, and he's the 3rd highest paid second baseman right now, behind Marcus Semien and Jeff McNeil. And if I'm him, once I hit free agency this year, the first thing I'm doing if I'm his agent is telling all the teams, well, Gleyber Torres is an all-star. Those other 2 guys weren't. Give us money.
Right.
Like, there is some sort of negotiating tactic there. I do wonder, though, like, what McKinstry's fit on this team in the long run is. It's invaluable to have a guy that can play that many different positions, and I think any manager across baseball would be happy to have a Zach McKinstry. I just
Absolutely.
don't know what that sort of contract looks like when this is all said and done.
Yeah, I mean, and as far as like what his role on this team is like going forward, they'll find one. Like a guy like that always has a role. There's always an option for him if he's going to continue to produce at the plate. So, and obviously he hoses down a runner last night too from the outfield, like just adding value at all spots. Like you said, it's very difficult to look at past contracts, look at guys' market value with McKinstry.
There's no comparison.
It's very difficult to compare and try to find a reasonable outcome. Because also, like, is any of this sustainable? Like, we legitimately were talking about, like, if he doesn't have that solid performance in the playoffs last year, good chance McKinstry doesn't make the roster to start this season if guys were healthy.
I was just about to say, even if he didn't have, like, regardless of his playoff performance,
Right.
if Perez and Vierling and Meadows were all healthy to end spring training, is McKinstry on this team?
It's tough.
I don't know.
It's really hard to see a spot for him. But obviously they value him, and thank God they played things out.
Last year he hit .215 with a .614 OPS, Kyle.
with zero boom.
Bad.
I mean, how many homers? 2, 3?
4 home runs on the season last year in 118 games. He's played 83 this year and already has 7 home runs.
Once again, added the value, and honestly probably added more value as a defender last year because of the ginormous hole at shortstop with Javi Baez not being any good. But still, if you're not producing at the plate, playing different positions it's just a gimmick. It's cool and all, but
he's a 2.5 WAR. It's just like, it doesn't make sense. If he had been doing this for multiple years, there'd be some comparisons. Like Gunnar Henderson, as much as I joke around, Mookie Betts a little bit fits in it. Like, he's never going to have the offensive numbers that Mookie used to have, but like a 2025 version of Mookie, if you get what I'm saying.
You're still obviously taking Mookie Betts.
Yes. But the numbers are somewhat comparable. But the fact that he just explodes and has this sort of season, that's what makes it hard to project. And it also, again, speaks back to the development of all of these guys from within the Tigers organization after they get to the majors, right? They are not finished products once they get to the major league level. Zach McKinstry had been in the major league level since 2020, shows up on the Tigers in 23, plays 148 games that season, plays 118 last year, and then 83 this season. It took him 2.5 seasons to become what he became, or what he has become, just with the Tigers. 5 years in total, like between the Dodgers, Cubs, and Tigers. I think a lot of teams would have just given up on a player like that by now. If you have 4, I don't want to say unsuccessful seasons in a row, but 4 seasons where your WAR's never above, like the highest WAR he had was 1.3.
He was a backup, right? He really was a bench guy that just got run when people were injured or guys needed days off. Like that's really what his role was the last several seasons. Nothing wrong with that role, but that's what he was in.
And now it's like, even when everyone's healthy, it's like, man, we got to fit this guy into the lineup somehow. Even when he's not in the starting lineup, it's like, this guy's going to play eventually today, right? And usually the answer is yes.
Of the 90 games.
Right. There's no comparison to this. I can't remember the last Tiger that was even of this value, because even
92 games.
Even the Romines of the world, they weren't doing this at the plate. Brandon Inge might have had a couple of those seasons, but...
And I did find it. Andrew Romine did play all 9 positions in the final game of 2017.
He played all 9 different positions in 9 innings?
Yeah, that's what I was pretty sure I remembered that. It was just like a gimmick because like the season's over and he was retiring. It was like to celebrate him being this utility guy.
What season was this?
2017.
Wasn't a lot going on for the Detroit Tigers.
Went left,
in
center, right,
2017.
then went through the infield and pitched in the 8th inning.
You know how much of a joke you have to be as an organization to be like, well, the season's over, so let's just play this guy all 9 positions today.
I mean, you're not playing for anything.
What do you mean?
The season's over.
Yeah.
It's the last game
of the year. It's a joke because they were the worst organization in baseball then. What do you mean? How is it a joke?
Dude, even if a team was 5 games out for making the playoffs, you're not playing for anything. Like,
it's just a laughable thing to do as an organization. It's like, well, we haven't had really much going on the past couple of seasons. Want to see us do a carnival trick? Here's one guy playing 9 positions. Like, what?
Well, he was the 5th guy ever to do it, so... Clearly, some other people had thought of it before.
Not 9 players. He was the 5th guy to do it in a season or in one game?
No, in one game.
Oh my God, man!
I'm telling you, dude. I don't think it's that. I think it's cool.
9 different positions in one day. Sounds like a crazy day.
They should do it with McKinstry today.
Is that right, John? That sounds like a crazy day. 9 different positions. Oh my God.
Whoa.
989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt, live on YouTube as well. We'll be right back. Take a trip around the league when we do on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know the pervasive use of technology can lead to digital eye strain, burning or tired eyes, headaches, fatigue, loss of focus, blurred or double vision. Overexposure light from electronic devices may also increase the likelihood of developing serious eye conditions such as age-related macular degeneration. To give your eyes a rest, remember 20-20-20. Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet away. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington in Freeland.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh? Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10. Or at PremierTileStone.com.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
Something is amiss at Dow Diamond. The award-winning True Crime Night returns for the Great Lakes Loons on Thursday, July 10th. And this time, our beloved golden bobblehead is missing. It's an evening filled with suspense and intrigue. Join the investigation to uncover the mystery and help solve the case of who framed Lou E. Lou. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's almost football season. We got 6 days till the Lions report to camp. Yesterday we had college football, the game, come out. It's fantastic. I played it for a long time last night. So without further ado, we're going to take a trip around the league, college football edition.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
It's always good when you have a video game inspired around the league, right, Kyle?
Right, exactly. A pretty good video game, too. How long did you play yesterday?
I hopped on. I immediately, the first thing I always want to do is just play a game. I just want to feel it out. So I hopped in, played as Bryce Underwood and the Wolverines. That was fun. Then I hopped in and did a dynasty, started rebuilding the Spartans because, rebuilding Michigan would have been a little too easy. It's not even a rebuild, really.
Right, when you're allowed to cheat when you use them.
Right. So I ended up taking over the Spartans. Jonathan Smith, gone. Ben Bosscher takes over.
Sounds like Dwayne's worst nightmare.
So, we will be taking the Spartans to the glory land. Already 1-0. Because we had to beat the crap out of Western. I don't know. I probably played for 2 hours yesterday. Nothing crazy.
I haven't gotten it yet. Probably will by the end of this week. So.
I remember last year, the first day it came out, I probably sat down for 8 hours straight. That was awesome.
That's pretty crazy. I just can't wait to get the joint franchise going.
Yep.
That's really what I'm most excited for.
All right, so do you want to explain what this around the league is? Or we can just talk about our experience.
So we had the overalls of all the players.
Yes.
How do you want to run through this, though? Do you want to go by position group? Do you want to just try to guess the top guys?
I want to try to guess all the top rated players in college in this video.
And I'm just supposed to believe you haven't looked at this, even though you spent hours on the game.
I've only played as Michigan and Michigan State so far, and I don't
all the Michigan State players are up there.
Oh, right, the highest overalls in the game?
Right, yes.
I don't think Michigan would have any guys on there either.
Okay, so you want to go by position group?
No. I just want to guess who the 10 best players in the game are.
Wow. Okay, but then we're going to do quarterbacks after that because
that's fine. Time dependent.
All right, let's go. Who's the top guy?
I can't imagine the top guy is not Jeremiah Smith, right? There's not one quarterback that sticks out as the Heisman favorite. This guy to me is the best player in college football. Was as a true freshman. Probably would have been the best receiver in the draft, even though he was 18 or 19 years old last year. Now he comes in for year number 2. Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State quarterback. Is he the top guy?
Yeah, he is, and he's in his own territory. 98 overall, not even a 97.
So no 99s. Last year, I think Travis Hunter was the only 99.
Not even preseason though. Like it took them a while to get to a 99.
I think it took him winning the Heisman to become the 99 overall. Something
right,
like
but
that.
Smith being a sophomore, a true sophomore, 98, that's crazy.
Caleb Downs, he's got to be up there, right?
He's second, 96 overall. So the top two guys, both.
Oh my God.
Ohio State.
There's not
Makes
even
sense. Won the Natty last year.
So it goes 98 to 96. There's that big of a gap
97.
between Jeremiah Smith and the
saying.
next guy. That's crazy. Is that the only 96?
Only 96. Then there's 4 95s.
Jeremiah Love, I would imagine, is on this. The Notre Dame running back.
Yeah, he's the top running back at a 95.
95. Okay. And what was that overall? Third? Fourth?
Tied for third.
Oh, there's 3 guys that are 95?
There's 3 other guys, so there's 4 total. You got 2 defensive guys, 1 more offensive guy.
It's not Dylan Stewart, is it? It should be, but it's probably not.
Stewart is a 94 from South Carolina.
As a
Just
sophomore.
misses out on this 95 group.
He's on the top 10, though?
Yes.
He's a monster, man. That is one of the guys that I'm the most excited to watch this football season. South Carolina edge rusher, just a
South Carolina just a fun team in general this year.
Usually is. Usually has some studs on that defensive side, and with Lenore Sellers. I'm trying to think of what quarterback would even qualify for this. I can't.
No quarterbacks in the top 10. I'll just give it to you.
Okay.
Not even close either.
That makes sense though. There's not a standout guy going into the year. Most of the guys that you're
but you
excited
think they
about
would just like overrate a guy, right?
Yeah, but you can't just give Arch Manning this crazy overall when he's never started a game, you know? And the other guys that everyone's excited about this year is like...
Yeah, the highest quarterback's at 92.
Is it Klubnik?
Yeah. He's tied with 2 other guys.
And he's still got a lot to prove this year. The quarterback class is interesting this year.
It
All
is.
right, back to trying to figure this out. Ryan Williams, Alabama
I was just going to say,
receiver.
you're forgetting the other guy that's on the cover. Ryan Williams, 95 overall, tied with Love and the 2 other defensive guys.
The Nick Marsh disrespect here is crazy. Yes, those 2 guys are better than Nick Marsh. But
What is Nick Marsh?
I don't know if it's by that much. That Michigan State receiver, Nick Marsh, I don't think he's that much worse than those other 2 freshman receivers. Jeremiah Smith's on his own level, but I think he's a little closer to Ryan Williams than people realize. He was ridiculous
I gotta find out what
last
he
year.
is.
2 other defensive
never
guys.
mind. He's not a top 100 player.
That's crazy. Give me a team. Give me a conference. Give me a position. Something.
You have 2 defensive guys, middle linebacker, and a left end. One's in the SEC, one's in the ACC.
I was going to go with DJU's brother, who's like a linebacker, I think at Oregon, but that doesn't apply.
Not him. I'll tell you the schools. Clemson and Texas are the schools.
Oh, man. I don't
know.
know.
Might just not know the guys.
I might not begin. I'm still got to prep on college football. Went and bought the Phil Steele book yesterday.
Some of the defensive guys in college are just hard to get. It's Anthony Hill Jr. from Texas, middle linebacker.
Okay.
And TJ Parker, edge rusher from Clemson.
Guess I got to read up on the Phil Steele book I bought yesterday. The magazine. Get you ready for the college football season. I thought about doing
one more wide receiver tied for the top 10. You think you know who it is?
Yeah. Team. Conference.
Arizona State.
No, I don't think I do.
Jordan Tyson. Supposed to be a first rounder in this year's draft.
Okay.
I do want you to go through the quarterbacks, though. There are 7 quarterbacks in the top 100. None of them are Arch Manning.
He's never started a game. He shouldn't be.
But you just think he
never
would
started
get
a
ranked
game,
high.
Kyle.
You just think he would get ranked super high, though.
You would
right?
think so, but EA is doing the right thing and not overrating players who are yet to put any real thing
Manning
on
is
film.
up there in Heisman odds. Like,
That's
those
because
are the people
dummies
that really
bet on
know.
it. That's because dumb people bet on it.
All
There's
right.
no value with Arch.
You already said Cade Klubnik. Yes, he's tied for first at a 92.
Lenore Sellers has got to be on this.
He is 91, yes.
He's going to be the cracked
There's 392s,
quarterback.
491s. Yes, Sellers is, what's the speed? 89 speed.
Yeah, that's going to be ridiculous. There's no way Underwood's on this, right?
No.
Yeah, if Arch isn't on there.
But
there's
there
no way Underwood.
is a little bit of connection in here. To a
Childs?
different school. No, you're on the right path.
Oh, Drew Aller.
Okay, yeah, but that's not where I was going. But yes, Drew Aller is one of the 92s.
Where
Maybe
we-
someone who played at the same school as Aiden Childs.
Oh. Not the Fresno State guy. Where'd he end up transferring?
I don't know, like a school that went to the college football playoff or something.
The Arizona State guy?
Yeah, Sam Levitt.
Yeah.
91 overall. Shout out Sam Levitt,
That's
former
crazy.
backup of both Noah Kim and Caton Hauser. Wasn't good enough.
Nope.
But then goes to the playoff. Could be an NFL quarterback.
How many more do I have?
You got 3 more. 1 more 92, 2 91s.
Give me a conference.
You got 2 SECs, 1 ACC. This guy sucks. The ACC guy.
Is it Carson
Name.
Beck?
Yeah, it's Carson Beck.
I don't
Carson
think Carson
Beck at a 91.
sucks.
Come on, man. All right, then you got 2 SEC guys. One of them you should know. The other one you might not know.
I mean, they're SEC quarterbacks. I should probably know all of them.
The one you for sure should know. Like in the Heisman race talks, in first overall pick discussion. Starting since he was a freshman.
Is it cheating if I pull up the standings? I just want to look at the teams.
No, sure. I mean, there is a lot of teams in the SEC, so.
Yeah, it's too hard to keep track, so I'm just going to do that. Oh, nope, not that person. He's not in the SEC anymore. What's Nico ranked, just out of curiosity?
He's not in the top 100, so I can't see his ranking.
That's unfortunate. Tough for him. DJ Lagway.
No.
Really?
Nope.
Okay. The other person's definitely Garrett Nussmeier then. I just needed to see the teams.
Yeah, he's a 92, tied for the top. And then you got a 91, also in the SEC.
Tell me. I give up.
John Mateer from Oklahoma.
Okay. Yeah, I got to do some studying. Got to get some.
Yeah.
Got to get ready for this
Linsky
college
called
football
it out
season.
in the chat. Look at him, man.
I can't believe Lagway's not on there. I guess he also fits into the hasn't really played yet. Same with Arch, but Lagway's another guy I'm really excited to watch. All right. That's going to do it for Around the League today. So here's what we've got coming up on the show. We're going to bring some Lions schedule conversations into the mix when we come back. We've got some more college football to get to at the end of the 10 o'clock hour. And then I want to revisit the Tigers, who is a part of this long-term future, why Colt Keith is the path to an avenue forward in the 11 o'clock hour. It's all coming up. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more. With 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
When the summer heat is on, keep your cool with Answer Heating and Cooling. Our expert team specializes in fast, reliable air conditioning repairs, installations, and maintenance. Stay comfortable all season long with top-notch cooling solutions and simply outstanding service. Plus, with financing options and special rebates, cooling your home has never been more affordable. Answer Heating and Cooling, where comfort is our priority. Try our new schedule online option or call us today.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
Something is amiss at Dow Diamond. The award-winning True Crime Night returns for the Great Lakes Loons on Thursday, July 10th. And this time, our beloved golden bobblehead is missing. It's an evening filled with suspense and intrigue. Join the investigation to uncover the mystery and help solve the case of who framed Lou E. Loon. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Lions, you can make the argument the season starts in 6 days. Training camp, that's when they will be reporting 6 days from now. Again, the Hall of Fame game here in the month of July because, well, they start a week earlier than everybody else because they have that Hall of Fame game. So I started wondering myself, because I always like to go to one Lions game a year, and I've kind of been priced out of going to Ford Field. Maybe that can change this season. Not that the tickets will be cheaper, but, you know, be a little more responsible with the money, save up, you know. And I started to wonder, what's like the one game that Lions fans would want to go to, whether that is in Ford Field or on the road? What is the number one, let's go to this Lions game this season? And, you know, a couple different ones come to mind. I mean, the Hall of Fame game in Cleveland would be cool, but let's be honest, nobody wants to go to the preseason game as much as the regular games. In terms of like feasible, like I'm not going to include LA. I'm not going all the way out there. It's not realistic. Probably not going all the way to Baltimore, although like that's their second furthest road game other than Los Angeles, which is kind of crazy because Kansas City's not as far as you really realize.
Devin Washington.
Yeah. But anyway, I think in terms of the home game, the team, the game I'd want to go to the most is probably just See, all the fun quarterbacks that you'd want to just like check off the bucket list as a sports fan are road games.
All on the road.
Which is scary as a Lions fan. I think the game I'd want to go to the most on the road, though, just in terms of what's plausible. I mean, Kansas City going to Arrowhead would obviously be my number one pick. Because the atmosphere in there is kind of
I've always
something
wanted
else.
to see what it's like in Arrowhead, man.
But
and obviously getting to see Mahomes too.
With something a little bit closer, the Bengals game, I think, is something I realistically might be doing this season. Go see the jungle. Go boo Joe Burrow. Go call him overrated right to his face.
Right.
Burrow!
Go rob his house like someone did last year during his game.
Daniel Jones has more fourth quarter comebacks than you, Joe Burrow. That'd be fun. I think that's the road game I'd want to go see the most, other than the Arrowhead one. In terms of home, for the exact same reasons as I just want to see Aaron Rodgers basically die on the football field. His career,
Okay.
his career die on the football field would be the Week 16 game against Pittsburgh. But I would imagine that game's probably ultra expensive tickets because there's just Steelers fans everywhere.
Right. Me and my friends want to go to that game because I have two Steelers fans.
The stupid Steelers fans jack up the prices.
As soon as the schedule dropped, I went to go look at tickets, and I'm like, oh, my God, dude. How are they already this expensive?
Because the Steelers fans infiltrate every city that exists in America. I don't really understand it.
I don't
Where do
really
these
understand
people
it
come
either.
from?
They're everywhere, dude.
They just spawn. It's like they come out of the sewers, and they're like, yep, I'm a Steelers fan. Why are you a Steelers fan? My dad was a Steelers fan. You grew up in Pittsburgh? No.
Why is your dad a Steelers fan?
I don't know.
Oh, his dad was a Steelers fan. Okay, why was he? It's really weird.
Terry Bradshaw, baby.
It's kind of cool, though.
No, I don't like it.
Like a nationwide thing. Okay,
no,
yeah, sure.
no, I don't like it. Go back,
that
go
would
back to
be,
Pittsburgh.
That is half my home pick. As boring as it is, because I've seen this team play at Ford Field before, and I want to see different teams. Being in the building for Ben Johnson's return week 2, the Lions' first home game. I mean, that is got dream written all over it.
I was only taking opponent into consideration. Because the Chicago game,
take everything in.
Yeah, because now I'm thinking at like the Monday night game, Tampa Bay. It's not like a quarterback I'm like dying to see in Baker, but the Monday night crowd is always really
kind
good.
Kind of a rivalry a little bit too that we've built with Tampa. Like we've kind of owned them the last couple of years, but played them a ton.
I wouldn't say they've owned them. It was one of their 2 losses last season.
Well, yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, has built up a little like, hey, these are 2 of the perennial playoff teams here in the NFC. The Dallas game is a Thursday night game, which I think would have a really good crowd. I mean, the Thanksgiving game's a bucket list thing for me, but like, it's not a need. I know I'll do that eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I went to one when I was younger.
Do you remember it?
It was a ton of fun. Yeah, I was in high school. It was a really good time. It was against the Bears too, and they come back and won. So,
I've already seen the Lions play the Vikings, but a Lions-Vikings game, just like watching Jefferson in person.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Vikings game with Jefferson on the team.
He's just different. I don't know how to explain it other than he just moves a little bit differently out there. I was at that game where he had like 200 yards against the Lions a couple years back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's unstoppable. Like you just can't stick with him. He moves differently than everybody else on the field.
I think the answer has yet to been said, though.
Oh, is this a road game?
If I'm picking any game
that you're thinking
regardless of financial here, going to Philly is a bucket list for me.
I don't know.
Because of the toxicity of that stadium.
I'd be scared of getting drinks thrown on me.
It's Sunday night, too.
Yeah,
but imagine if they won.
I'd be scared of getting beat up.
No, you're right.
You're like, because if I wear like a nice Hutchinson jersey or something like that, because my Hutchinson jersey is the away jersey.
The Philly fans are.
I feel like I'm walking home with that brown drinks poured on it, yellow popcorn stains.
With your face black and purple, too.
Right. I actually have no desire to go to Philly. I'd rather just go to Arrowhead.
I just
they're
want
like
to
a toxic
experience
fan
that
base
once.
that's not.
I want to experience
mean.
the toxic fan base. I've been to Philly before.
You can go to Ford Field and do that. Got a toxic fan base there.
That's my own fans. I want to go to enemy territory.
Would you say
2
Arrowhead
top teams in the NFC? I would say right now
be a part of the takeover tour. Would you say Arrowhead is as nasty? It's. I think it's a better environment, but I don't think it's as nasty.
It is not near. Philly is nasty as it gets, man.
Is that the worst crowd across sports?
As far as fans being crazy and rude and toxic?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a comparison. Like maybe Boston Celtics games, Red Sox games.
Utah Jazz fans used to have a pretty bad reputation for different reasons, but
what do you mean
as
used
far as
to?
Just, well, yeah, they probably still do, but yeah, I would say Philly, like not even close.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm trying to think if there's like a baseball game or a baseball team or is there a hockey crowd that's just as toxic as it gets? I don't know. Philly's, it's just nasty over there.
Philly's all around. It's every Philly fan base. I'm interested to see though what people would say. I see Ron in the YouTube chat saying Vikings with Jefferson and having JJ McCarthy as well. I've kind of forgot about that. Michigan fans kind of gives you a reason to go watch him play.
I'd want to go see a Lions game in Minnesota and see that beautiful stadium.
Minnesota's new stadium.
US Bank.
I would love to see that.
It's hardly new at this point, but it's still one of the
newish.
newer ones across the league. And it is. Every time the Lions play there, it looks so nice from the outside.
Honestly, that's like the toxic fan base vibe you could get too. Like the Vikings have really good fans.
No, they don't.
They have the best
give a
fans
compliment
other
to the
than the
Vikings
Lions.
fans. Don't give a compliment to the Vikings.
They have
fans.
better fans than Chicago and Green Bay.
No, because the Vikings fans have sick, twisted minds and think that their team is a lot better than they actually are.
I don't
from
disagree,
a historic
but
standpoint. And the Vikings fans are the one that started the Kirby Joseph is a dirty player whole thing that got blown out of proportion and was the
they
reason
still have
he
a
wasn't a Pro
large
Bowler.
fan base and crazy like the Lions. I'll give them credit for that.
I guess. But I just don't like when the Vikings fans are like, how many Super Bowls have you been to? Like, I don't know. How many have you won? Same number as us.
Right.
It's like the Vikings fans put themselves on this pedestal, even though
They do.
There's 0 Super Bowls there.
How many playoff games have you won in the last 10 years?
Right.
Yeah. Like, let's have that discussion.
I don't really have a desire to see Dallas anymore other than the fact that it's a night game. Not that I would like pass up the opportunity to do it.
We're missing the obvious one here, man.
The Giants?
Let's go see the Giants with John.
The G-Men?
Yeah. Let's go watch us kill the Giants.
Oh no, Jackson Dart is dead!
Oh no, Aiden Hutchinson has murdered Jackson Dart.
We could go see the Browns game too, for a different reason.
Right.
Oh my God, Shador Sanders died. No, I think I'm going to try to make it to one of these games. The road game seems more plausible if you want to keep it.
It's cheaper.
It's just going to be
even
cheaper
taking
this
the full
season.
trip, if you're not staying, it's probably cheaper.
Soldier Field always has cheap tickets. They're probably more expensive this year because there's like some true excitement around that.
You went
team.
there last year, right? Or was it the year before?
I went there 2 years ago.
Right?
It was 2 years ago at that point. That was one of the first times. I think it might have been the first time I laid my eyes on Gibbs, and Gibbs had a great game. And
the way you phrase that is just laid my eyes on Gibbs.
Gibbs was ridiculous that day. The only like successful portion of the Lions
because they lost.
offense.
That's right.
They did lose that game. Jared Goff was terrible.
Like, so no desire to see Miami or Houston come to Detroit.
In the preseason?
Oh wait, no, that's preseason.
I was about to say no. No, I don't.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, going to LA to see the Lions Rams would be fine.
That's a little far for me for a weekend trip. Got to be here to do a show Monday morning, you know?
Right.
989-837-6125. Hey, this new college football game is out right now. Let's have a college football conversation. When we come back, it's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland. Summer League is now underway in the NBA. Pistons, they'll start their first game this week, and a couple notable guys that will be on the roster will be playing in Summer League. Obviously, Ron Holland, second-year player, 5th overall pick in the 2024 draft. Chaz Lanier, who was the lone selection in this 2025 draft for the Pistons, taken at the top of the second round, will also be in action. But I gotta say, what I'm looking forward to most with this Pistons Summer League is not caring about it as much as I have in recent years. Now that the Pistons have become a competitive team, going to the playoffs last year, obviously losing in round 1, but coming into this season, their expectations into Summer League are way different than they've been the last few years. I mean, the highlight of the offseason for Pistons fans was gearing up for Summer League the last several years, right? Watching Cade Cunningham, watching Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren that season, watching Asar Thompson, now watching Ron Holland last year. Like, it was just a repeated cycle of looking forward to their top pick in Summer League, which there's nothing wrong with that, but Summer League should not be at the top of concerns for a good basketball team. Yes, I will be tuning into Summer League. No, I will not be fully invested like I have been the last several years because the Pistons have more important priorities this season, winning a playoff series. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the local job market. We're here in person. And we're locally owned, so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at Spherion.com to find your local Spherion office. Let's get to work.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman Night at Dow Diamond on Saturday, July 12th. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive an exclusive Super Lou E bobblehead courtesy of My Michigan Health. Create a lasting memory after the game as you take in Fireworks Loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Don't miss this super night of fun. Get your tickets at loons.com.
Looking for an unforgettable baseball experience? Look no further than The Dock with the Great Lakes Loons. Our exclusive 4-person premium soft seats are located directly behind home plate. It puts you in the middle of all the action. Plus, wait staff service is included, and you can purchase drink packages to enhance your game day experience. Call 989-837-BALL for information or visit the tickets tab at loons.com.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt. Mid-Michigan sports leader.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
I saw someone say in the chat earlier that they had 12 hours already put into the college football game. That is some dedication for it only being out for one
that guy's a loser.
Day. I didn't say that. Well, I said that at some point.
You did say that, yeah.
But not about this certain scenario. I've been there before, man. I don't know if I ever played for 12 straight hours. Maybe during COVID. There was a stretch where I could say I maybe did that, but that's a long time. 12 straight hours. Was there ever a game that you played for 12 straight hours?
Not 12. Like, I would say I am a gamer, more used to be than currently, but 12 is crazy. If I spend more, I can't do it. I can't spend more than like 3 hours on the game at a time either. Like, I have to take a break.
Because you get bored or you feel bad?
No, I just can't. Yeah, I feel bad. It's like, okay, I can't be doing this. Like, I need to go do something else.
I was so excited to play college football yesterday that I skipped out in the gym, but then I was like, because I didn't want to do like a whole hour and a half, like get ready for the gym, go to the gym, like a whole routine. So I was like, I'll just, you know what?
Oh, you have to get ready with me before.
Right.
Yes.
It's mostly just going home, changing, grabbing a quick bite to eat, making pre-workout. Not making, but you know what I mean.
Making.
And I was like, that seems like a whole process.
pre-workout.
I want to play this a little sooner. So I went on a run instead. And then that's how I was like, okay, now I don't feel bad about playing this for
fair.
4 straight hours the rest of the night until the Tigers game starts. So yeah, I think I ended up playing for like 3, 4. I don't know. I think I logged on at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
No, I just want to play.
It's really fun, man. But I'm trying to think of the game that it was definitely during COVID at some point. My like stretch of playing the most. And I don't remember what that would have been. 2K21, Madden 21, but
2K20.
But honestly, if I'm being real honest, I think if that is when I was gaming the most, which I think it is, there might have been like a 12-hour Fortnite day in there. There really might have been.
That's a good point.
That
like
game was iconic.
Even like in high school, schools canceled.
Like snow day?
I'm ripping Fortnite. Yeah. Like I'm playing. It's snowy out. Like you don't want to go outside. You're not leaving because the roads are icy. Those were definitely some at least 7-8 hour Fortnite days.
Well, I would like pack up my TV and Xbox, and all of us would go to one friend's house.
Oh yeah,
and we'd play like from
hundreds of
6
times.
p.m. till the sun was coming up.
Yeah,
chasing one win.
Yeah, just running up the internet bill on whoever's parents' house you're at. 8
Internet
TVs,
bill?
8 Xboxes all going.
Have to pay for this? What do you mean? Free game. It's beta version. No, there were some days where, I mean, we used to, like, school would get out at 2:30, and I would run to my car.
Yeah, you got to be in the first 4 to get in the elite squad.
And as a 16-year-old, drive home aggressively fast to try and be the first 4, like one of the first 4 people on to make sure you had a spot in the squad. I don't know. I hope I'm never as obsessed or addicted
Do you
to
care
a video
about anything
game
as much as you cared about that?
I was going to say, I hope I'm never addicted to a video game as much as I was Fortnite for those couple of years. I hope I care about something in my life as much as I did
about this show?
For those, I do. I would like to say I do care about this show as much, but I don't know, man. 16-year-old me would have been like, I'd rather die than not be able to play this game for 12 hours. I'm telling you, dude, aggressively running out of school, getting in the car.
Oh, yeah. That's almost after basketball practice, too. Like, you're running home. I'm not doing my homework tonight. I'll wake up extra early in the morning just to get it done.
Because I graduated with 500 plus. There's 2,000 kids at the school. So everyone trying to leave at the same time, you end up in a parking jam. You had to, like, get out of there fast, avoid the parking jam to get home, to get a spot. And then it was like a game of chicken. Hey, dinner's ready. Shoot. Do I go get dinner and risk
Do I
losing my
eat tonight?
Yeah, no, I think I'm good, Mom. Thanks, though. Can I eat up here? No? Okay, I guess I'll just starve. Like, you weren't giving up your spot. You couldn't.
Yeah, I can't pause it. Like, no, there was never, and this is so, like, boomer, old head video game take, but, like, the younger generation that's younger than us, I know we're young people, but the young kids today will never understand the prime Fortnite time, like how crazy it went.
I think they will. I think
no.
It's still popular like that, though.
But not like it was when it was like.
It's just a different experience now, though. I think they like it just as much, but they'll never recapture what you loved. You know,
the video game that I maybe binged the most when it came out. I've always been a sports gamer, Like the only really non-sports game I played religiously was Fortnite. Never been like a Call of Duty guy or anything. But I've always played on Xbox. And when MLB The Show first got on Xbox, which I believe was The Show 21, because it would always only a PlayStation game, never on Xbox. When that came out on Xbox, I was in college at my apartment. We ran probably 8 TVs in the apartment. Everyone just playing their own Road to the Show. Like, oh,
That's
you
so
make the
good.
majors yet? Like, I'm down in my room. I come upstairs. There's 4 guys in the living room, all with their monitors playing. I'm like, okay, you're in AA. You got to AAA already?
I never got into the show, unfortunately.
Really?
It was just
I love the show, man.
I would always spend the money on 2K and Madden, and
me too.
And then I
kind of
just
phased out of Madden a little bit.
Oh no, that's the best game, man.
Now that college football came out, like I bought Madden last year, literally played it one time, did not play it another time.
Really? Because now that the Lions
I'm
are
upset
good,
that I bought it.
Now that the
I'm not
Lions
buying
are
it this
good,
year.
though, it is so fun to just destroy people with the Lions. You get to be
Yeah,
Jared
I just like the
Goff.
college football game more.
That's fair. You get the
But the show,
the presentation of the college football game is way better. Just
Yes.
with all the different atmospheres.
and the gameplay, I think, is better.
I saw a clip. I haven't experienced this, but there was a clip yesterday of someone playing Michigan State at the Big House, and the whole crowd sings Mr. Brightside in the third quarter. Like they have all the traditions in there. That's the cool part about the college football games to me is every
Yeah, they had the
time you
tunnel
play-
that both teams go into.
Right. You have the traditions of every stadium, like the detail that they put in. Like even Kelly Shorts over in Mount Pleasant, the details of the buildings around it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the dorms.
You can see the dorms. You can see the hotel. You can see O'Kelly's. You can't see O'Kelly's, but I was playing yesterday in Kelly Shorts, and I was like, no, flip the play. Because I was playing with one of my friends. I was like, flip the play, run it to the right. I'm running right to the end zone and go into O'Kelly's. And I ran right up the tunnel and tried to go to O'Kelly's. It was the best time.
You should have got into the show. It's the best ultimate team. Like Diamond Dynasty is better than Mutt. It's better than my team.
Nothing beats Mutt. Nothing beats
dude,
Prime
I'm
Mutt
so
Ultimate Team.
against that.
I used to share a team with one of my friends. We shared the login so that one of us could always be grinding Mutt to try to.
That's crazy.
We were addicted to it.
I will still
don't think
buy
anything beats
2K every year. As bad as the game is, I buy it every year. And I will again this year.
I can't I can't invest into any of the game modes long term because it's just pay to play.
Right.
I mean, they all
See,
are.
I'm a big offline gamer though. Like I really
So am
enjoy
I.
franchise mode of that's why I love the show. The franchise mode in the show with the scouting and the minor league stuff, obsessed with it.
That's why you like the college football game because you can just build your own
Yes,
dynasty. What's the
exact-
first
like
thing
I-
you're going to do? You're going to bring CMU a national championship?
No, I'll probably pick some random
realistic.
school that wasn't in the game last year. Like how I said I picked UTEP last year.
You know, the first thing I tried to do when I created a dynasty yesterday was get rid of all conferences except the SEC and the Big Ten. It's like, let's just 2 super conferences. The right way.
I do like
the
doing
way,
that.
The
I
way
made a
it should
conference
be.
in my last one that all the Texas schools shared a conference.
That seems
There's a lot of them.
like statist. Like segregating all the teams from Texas. That's kind of weird. Kind of weird of you, Kyle.
Sure, man. You're just inventing words.
Statist? No, that's got to be a word. All right. Here's what we got coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. I don't know. We went down that path for way too long.
Yeah.
All right. So the Tigers, obviously best team in baseball. I want to take a look forward. I want to put some glasses on and see into the future for the Detroit Tigers. Who on this team is a part of the young core? Who is not a part of the long-term vision for this team? Hey, when you got to start considering all these guys in the minor leagues, who a bunch of them just got called up to AA, all these top 60 prospects, I think there's going to be some names that surprise people that I do not have included in the long-term vision of this team. That's coming up. I want to circle back around the Zach McKinstry conversation because we talk about the core, and this is the guy I cannot figure out. I cannot for the life of me figure out what Zach McKinstry is. Is there a historical comparison to the season that Zach McKinstry is giving the Detroit Tigers right now? We're going to hit the news, and of course we've got our lock of the day, which is turning into our ice cold pick of the day. You may as well just start fading. If you faded every pick that we did, you'd be up money. You'd be up money. But you know what? Today's the day we bounce back. today's the day that we get back in the win column. We're also guessing Colin's Open. We've got our Mitt morning catch. It is a Tuesday, man. And tomorrow, I just want to get this out there ahead of time. Tomorrow, we're giving away Detroit Tigers tickets for their weekend series against Seattle over in Comerica Park. I got to go there last weekend. It really is a unique environment right now because Comerica in Detroit has been starved for a great baseball team for about a decade now. And now that it's finally there, it is one of the best atmospheres in baseball. You saw the standing ovation yesterday. You saw it on Sunday. Feels like every time they suit up in Comerica Park, it's somewhat of a superpower with that crowd behind them. So we're giving away tickets for that tomorrow at about 10:15. As for the rest of the day, I just went through the plan. So without further ado, we'll get to the 11 o'clock hour coming up. It is the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt, live on YouTube as well. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We'll be right back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Logan Snyder from Bullet Creek High School. With a 3.94 GPA, Logan's a member of the varsity golf team, revitalizing a program that was dormant when he was a freshman 4 years ago. Logan great at golf and in the classroom and also volunteers, including at the Midland Miracle Fields.
I love working with those kids, and it's always so much fun to see them getting to play the game we all get to love to play. Just getting to see them going up to bat, hitting the ball, no matter how far it goes, and they're just super excited. It just warms my heart every time.
Logan will be attending Ferris State in the fall and plans to study in their PGA Golf Management program. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themid.com.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
The new rebranded Matt Smith Modern Realty.
Well, Matt Smith Outdoors was really reflective of how I started my real estate journey, taking my outdoor experience, moving that into the real estate space to help people buy and sell land. So many people in this region ended up calling me and wanting me to work with them to help them buy and sell homes. This new brand was more reflective of what I'm delivering to people in this region every day.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. If you are a business or a nonprofit organization wondering how to navigate today's technologies landscape, let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show, hour number 3, the 11 o'clock hour. Some say the most important hour. Let's keep it going. I want to talk about this Tigers core because I think this gets misconstrued. I think a lot of people just kind of view this entire Tigers team as the core of this team when in reality, you got to be a little bit selective about who is a part of the long-term vision of this team. Here's what we know of certain. Colt Keith is going to be here for the long haul. He is signed all the way through 2032 if he is desired. There's a club option after 2030, 2031, and 2032 before he hits unrestricted free agency in 2033. Remember, they went and signed this guy to a long-term extension before he had ever even played a game for the Detroit Tigers at the major league level. So he's here for the long haul, which makes you think, okay, if he's here for the long haul, for that cheap of a price, 2.8 this year, 3.8 next year, 4.3 in 26, 27, 5.3 in 28, 29. If he's going to be that cheap, there's no incentive to really bring back Gleyber Torres unless your goal is to have the most expensive Spotrac page. You know what I mean? If your goal is to have the most expensive payroll. And as we know from Chris Ilitch, that is not the goal. So I have a hard time envisioning Gleyber Torres being re-signed here. Projected market value of probably about 4 years, $80 million. That would make him the second highest paid second baseman across baseball right now. I don't know if anyone's touching that Marcus Semien number of 7 for 175 because they regret that decision. He's not been all that great this year. So if he gets, priced out somewhere else, that's fine with me. You move Gleyber back to second base because he's the only guy you can say with certainty is going to be here long term. Obviously, I would love to tell you with certainty Riley Green is going to be here long term, and I would say with like 97% certainty this guy is not going anywhere. He's going to be a Tiger for the rest of his life. I would 97% say that, but you still got to see him put pen to paper before you can realistically say that. But if there is a face to the franchise of this team, I do think it's him and not Tarek Skubal. I'd be a little bit more afraid to let Skubal leave. But I'm not even really talking about Skubal. This is more of a conversation around the position players. So if you have Colt Keith already locked in, you assume you're going to lock down Riley Green. Well, who would be the next priority? Well, you don't even really have to start thinking about Wenzel Perez or Parker Meadows for another 5 years. So let's throw them into the core pieces to this team. McKinstry has 2 years left in his deal. We'll circle back to McKinstry because I don't understand what to do here. But the three guys that you would assume are keys to the core, Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, and Spencer Torkelson, I look in the minor leagues and I see first of all three of these guys, their arbitration ends the exact same time. So theoretically, you have to cough up the money and start paying them all in the same season. You know Chris Ilitch, you know it's probably not happening. So let's start picking and choosing. Riley Green, obviously, pick number 1 to be re-signed. Torkelson, I think, is interesting, though, because as much power as he has, there's someone with the exact same archetype in the minor league system right now who's the 58th rated prospect across all of baseball, and that would be Jose Briseño. He's the catcher first baseman, pans out with a ton of power, led this Midwest League in home runs here at Dow Diamond. A scary presence in the box. You have Kevin McGonigal coming up, who's probably just taking over for shortstop when the Baez contract is done. You've got Max Clark, who's another outfielder to add to an already crowded group. Where does Kerry Carpenter fit into this when you consider, well, Wenzel Perez is just kind of a more valuable player right now? If I had to guess, the starting lineup for the Tigers 3 years from now looks like Riley Green, Max Clark, Parker Meadows, Kevin McGonigal, Colt Keith, Jose Briseño, Dylan Dingler, another guy you don't really have to think about because he's under contract for so long. Wenzel Perez is the DH, Lord knows who, as the third baseman. Where am I right? Where am I wrong on this, Kyle?
Well, the first thing that you notice is there's no need to sign any free agents.
Nope.
Which is something that we discuss all the time, like how they're unwilling to pay guys that aren't currently on the team. Well, is it really that big of a deal when you have that many guys coming up? Like, the depth that the Tigers have shown, not just at the major league level, but in the farm system, it's quite obvious that they likely can survive without having to go get free agents. Now, obviously, a lot can change by then, but the notable names that are missing from that group are Gleyber Torres, Kerry Carpenter. I mean, like the McKinstrys and Javi Baez of the world, you'd be shocked if they're still around in 3 years.
Right.
You go 3 years out, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because that's when you have to pay Riley, Kerry, and Torque. I just don't really think Carpenter's as valuable as he is popular, if that makes sense.
Well, and it's just like, is he as good in 3 years as he is right now compared
Probably
to
not.
what else is going to be here?
Look at everything that he does. He mashes against right-handed pitching sometimes. When he's not, somewhat of a hole in the lineup because he's not a great fielder. He has a pretty big cannon of an arm, but Wenzel Perez just has a better one and they play the exact same position. And not only is he useless against left-handed pitching, they won't even play him against left-handed pitching. Whereas Wenzel, switch hitter, plays both sides of the plate, a lot better versus left-handed pitching, but still a 720 OPS versus right-handed pitching. Someone who's had success with power, with speed, a good defender, has a cannon of an arm. Just kind of, to me, a more valuable player, as crazy as that sounds right now. It's getting less crazy the more we talk this out, though.
Right.
And I don't know if I would have even recognized this a week ago or 2 weeks ago, because it's Kerry Carpenter, it's Kerry Bonds. This is, one of the staples of the lineup, one of the key pieces. I don't know if it is. I don't know if he is.
Well, let's shrink this down. You obviously have the ideal lineup 3 years from now. Who are locks to be on this team in 3 years and be a part of this core?
Colt Keith, Riley Green, Dylan Dingler, because he's not going to be on
there's
contract.
really no need to replace him. Yeah.
Parker Meadows, I would assume, but please figure it out and stop.
You think he's a lock?
I think he's so good defensively, and he still has 5 years left before you actually have to make a decision on him.
Here?
I do. There's still so much potential there that, as much as the past couple months or the past month and a half has been frustrating with watching him in the box, he still does so much to where I think he is a lock. Because that outfield would be.
There's 4.
Nothing's dropping in Comerica Park. Do I include the minor league guys, or do you only want me to include? Okay, Max Clark, Kevin McGonigal, Riley Green.
Yep, you already got Riley
Colt
Green.
Keith. That'd probably be it.
So you got 6. No Torkelson.
Nope.
You don't think he's a lock?
Perez, because you don't have to move
him
him
in the offseason.
You don't have to move Perez, so I don't know why he'd be off the team.
Well, I mean, you could be using a trade, or he could just not be as good.
Okay.
You just got to remember who's going to be replacing these guys. Ideally, Wenzel Perez is great. He was never a top prospect in baseball. There's a reason why these guys are ranked super high. Why a Max Clark could come in and just take his job at some point. Why McGonigal can come in and take whoever's at shortstop's job. It's just interesting. It's an interesting exercise.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of pushback that it should be Torkelson needs to be included on this. But I don't, then trade Jose Briseño this offseason then. And if they don't do that, it tells you what they think about him.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I disagree with that.
Why?
Because one of them could just be the DH. Briseño's also going to be a rookie in 3 years.
It's not necessarily 3 years away.
Okay, 2 years away max then. He's not going to be up next year.
More than likely, no. Yeah, no. I don't know. I just they have this guy who hits for bombs in the majors, and they could get off of Torkelson a little
part
early.
Is less about Briseño than it is just about
managing.
He almost didn't make the roster starting this season.
Well, it's also about, we're prioritizing Riley and Skubal and Colt Keith. I don't know if we have enough to pay everybody. So
I don't think Torkelson is a part of the main core. Even if you split the core into for sure never leaving the team, and then in the guys that ideally would be on the team. Torkelson is not in the for sure locks. That's the Rileys, the Colts.
I would love to say Skubal. I would love to say Skubal, but
yeah, I mean, we can throw him in there just because you would love for him to be on the team. Yes,
ideally he's coming back,
and I honestly think Clark and McGonigal are in that group. And then after that, Torkelson's in the next group of if he's playing well, would love if he's still a part of this core long term.
Yeah, but if they could just replace him with a guy who's much infinitely cheaper.
Right. Now it becomes a different conversation if Torkelson just continues to be this 30, 40 bomb guy, actually having north of 800 OPS. Because 2 years ago, that version of Torkelson, even the one that hit 30 bombs, that's not a guy you pay.
No, absolutely
This year's version of Torkelson potentially could be if it is continued.
We shall see. It's a good problem to have nonetheless, of how many guys are
absolutely
on the team right now, how many guys you want to keep, how many guys are in the minor league system. It's one of the healthier organizations in all sports. 989-837-6125. Hey, name we kind of glossed over, Zach McKinstry. Zach McKinstry has been more than a role player, but I don't know if he's quite an all-star. He's not an all-star, but there's a case he should be. It's next on the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
A successful holiday weekend for Great Lakes, taking 2 of 3 at home against the top team in the Midwest League, the West Michigan Whitecaps. The Loons took 4 of 6 overall, with the first 3 games being in West Michigan. It was a fun series filled with 5 top 100 prospects. A lot of offense as well from Great Lakes, including this big-time grand slam on Saturday night from Zaire Hope.
1-0. Hope swings, hard hit, in the air to left. Murr back to the wall, and gone! Zaire Hope's third against the Whitecaps this season, the second in July, and a grand slam that makes it 7-2.
Loons are right back here at Dow Diamond for 6 more starting Tuesday night, hosting the Lansing Lugnuts. First pitch, 7:05. Pregame coverage starting at 6:50 here on the Mitt.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm gonna go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman Night at Dow Diamond on Saturday, July 12th. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive an exclusive Super Lou E bobblehead courtesy of My Michigan Hell. Create a lasting memory after the game as you take in Fireworks Loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Don't miss this super night of fun. Get your tickets at loons.com.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Zach McKinstry, is he key to this Tigers core? He's such a strange name to try to figure out because there's not really a historical comparison for him. I mean, he's played 6 different positions for the Tigers so far this year. So naturally it's like, oh, Brandon Inge, Romine, like these are the guys that have done all of it. But it's also McKinstry's 5th year in the majors. And this is the first time he's put together a real season to point to and be like, oh, this is a staple of a lineup. Because forever he was a utility guy, but a bench player, only played when someone was hurt, which you need those type of guys if you're a bad team. But ideally, you know, you need to be a little bit more effective at the plate. Last year, there's a guy who hit .215. We didn't know if Zach McKinstry was going to be on the team this season. With all the injuries that the Tigers dealt with preseason, Wenzel Perez, Parker Meadows, Matt Vierling, all the outfielders, it gave McKinstry an opportunity to play basically every day at the beginning of the season. He took that opportunity and he ran with it. Now he is a 275 hitter, 285 hitter. He got a 800 OPS, 7 bombs on the season, hit another one yesterday. And again, has played 6 different positions effectively. I can't think of another comparison for this guy across baseball right now. Gunnar Henderson obviously comes to mind just as an ultimate utility guy, but
he's not utility like McKinstry is.
McKinstry can
he's
play
obviously
anywhere.
A much better hitter.
The only spot he hasn't played is center field, and he's obviously capable of playing center field. There just hasn't been a need for it. It doesn't make sense.
I hate to go back to it, but like that game the other night is just a definition of what McKinstry's done for the Tigers this year against Cleveland. When he comes in and pinch runs and scores, and then, all right, now we're going to put you at first base.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Torkelson's glove. You never wore it.
He said it was sweaty.
In extra innings. Oh, was it? Okay.
That's what he said.
I believe him. Like, that is a definition of what he's done for the Tigers this year. We talked about this when the All-Stars came out. Zach McKinstry might not be an All-Star. He is the Tigers All-Star.
Well,
They're not in the spot. They're not in the spot they are without Zach McKinstry. And obviously you can say that about the Scoobles and Riley Greens, but those are obvious. Zach McKinstry's not an obvious one.
Zach McKinstry kind of embodies the grittiness that this team has embraced over the past 6 months. Riley Green's the star.
Right, because he's a Chippewa.
You nailed it, man. Riley Green's the star, and I think he's knocking on the door of superstar. He might be in the doorway right now.
I don't think he's knocking. Yeah, I think
I think
he
he's
let
in.
himself in.
I think he let himself in. He's looking around like, am I going to get kicked out of this? And the bouncers,
right, and people are kind of looking at him like, do we let him stay? Like, he seems kind of chill. Does he know anybody here, though?
The bouncers are like, we'll let you. It's like
Let's see what he does. Yeah, like we'll let him hang out for a few minutes.
These are the O'Kelly's bouncers. They're not kicking anybody out. Doesn't matter what your ID looks like.
Right.
What were we talking about?
Zach McKinstry.
Riley Green's the star of this team. Zach McKinstry's. It's not like the other guys don't embody the grittiness and the everyday toughness, but Riley Green is the definition of like, what do you need from me today, AJ? Hey, Skip, what do you need from me today? Oh, you need me to play left field? Got you. Oh, you need me at first base? You need me to pinch run, and then we got to extra somehow, and now you need me at first? No big deal. I got you. Oh, you want me to switch to third in the middle of the game? Sure. Let's do it. Want me to lead off today? I got you. It doesn't, like, anything AJ Hinch asks of Zach McKinstry, he would do without hesitation. And we've learned this across baseball. Not everyone is really willing to do that for themselves and for their team more specifically. And maybe this is an overall conversation about the culture of this team, how everyone's kind of looking out for the team first rather than, the player aspect of it. There's no bad apples in this lineup or in this clubhouse or in the dugout or in the bullpen. Not a single bad apple that you got to worry about dealing with right now for the Tigers.
Well, that's what Scott Harris, who was on the broadcast last night, continued to talk about. Like, it's not just at the major league level. It's everyone. Mm-hmm. Like, it's throughout their entire organization. That's why things have gone so smoothly under his operation. Because top to bottom, these guys are all willing to do whatever it takes to win. Like, you need me to play any position? Sure. You want me to move around in the lineup? Sure. You want me to, like, imagine some guys across Major League Baseball, the amount that AJ Hinch takes guys out of the game for a different bat.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Colt Keys of the world. Took 2 at-bats the other night because a better matchup came up. Like, a lot of people that would upset. Like, give me a chance to hit against this lefty. These Tigers just know that it's what it takes to win.
They trust Hinch. I think that's the first part of it. They trust
Hinch. They trust everyone. They trust Hinch and everyone up above him as well.
And they trust each other. Carpenter was open about this. Oh, we think Andy Ibanez can give us a better look here? Sure. I trust him.
Yeah.
Go do your thing. I'll celebrate you.
And it's not like Ibanez strikes out, should have let me hit.
No, I don't think there's any jealousy like that in the Tigers organization. And I don't think I feel like most teams could not say the same thing.
I agree.
Which speaks to that. So if I didn't get to listen to any of the Scott Harris interview with Benetti because I was watching the Rays stream because I was
right. You were just wanting to check out a different broadcast. Yeah.
No, I would have much rather listened to the Benetti and
you just want to see what it was like
Scott
from
Harris.
their end.
No,
right?
Not really. No, that's not why. But was there any like giant takeaway from Scott Harris? Because you mentioned like top down, even in the minors, they're trying to get all the bad apples out of here. My first thought when you said that was like, what did he think about the Max Clark freakout at Dow Diamond over the weekend?
I don't think that Benetti was just ripping off Great Lakes Loon stats.
I'm not talking about stats. The only stat is one broken bat from Max Clark in the tunnel.
They did discuss those guys because obviously they were promoted. Yeah, but it was a lot of draft talk, like how Scott Harris handles his workload this time of year. Because we talked about this off show. Like, this has got to be the most chaotic time for an executive in sports in general. Draft, trade deadline, your team's good. Like, all three of those at the same time in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
A lot going on, especially in a draft that has the most players picked. You're not just picking round one. And he talked about how hard it is, like, having to pick in the 20s rather than at pick 3.
Oh, yeah.
Where they've been a lot in recent years.
Especially, I'd imagine the MLB draft is worse at this than any other draft of just the unpredictability.
It's not just a great big board, yeah.
Yeah, you got to find your own guys.
There's way too many guys available.
Because I'm sure there's some guys. I wonder if there's guys that get drafted in the big leagues, like in the first round, that one team's just like, yeah, we didn't really have much on that guy.
Probably a ton.
Even in the first round, you'd think so? 30 picks?
I mean,
you think there's bound to be one that
maybe
the
not
Tigers
like,
are like, yeah, we didn't really do any work on that guy.
Who is that guy? Like, maybe not that, but like, oh, we didn't really think he was a first-round talent.
What rounds does that start happening in, where someone
who
gets
is that
drafted
guy?
and a team's just like, who? Who is that? It's
I mean,
just
they're
some high
drafting these
school
guys
guy.
out from high school. Like,
I know,
there
that's
might
why
just be
it's
a
so
region.
hard.
There might just be a region that some teams don't explore very hard.
That's what I'm saying. It's definitely the draft class where you take, like, you're the most blinded. You're kind of just throwing darts, it feels like. There's no rhyme or
Scott
reason
Harris
for
has
why
been
guys hit.
hitting triple 20s, man.
Right, triple 20s. And I think a lot of that just like, what do we see we can turn this guy into if we give him our coaching staff? Like, we believe in our coaching staff, who has the high-end ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what the Tigers have done. Obviously, you can say, oh, well, the Max Clark and Job and Riley Green, these guys at the top of the draft. Of course they're good.
Picks.
No, Kevin McGonigal was a part of that early second round. Bryce Rayner was 12 and has done really good since coming up. And their international signings have been good, too, with Briseño.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's nice that they're finally dipping into the international pool. God, it felt like they went a decade without ever
Look
doing
out for
anything.
Chris Rodriguez, man. A lot of hype for that guy.
Briseño like came out of nowhere too, because he wasn't a top 100 guy last year, and then in the spring, I don't know what league it was, he was like a Triple Crown winner. It's like the first time anyone had ever done it. It's like, who's this guy? It's like, oh, he's a top 100 prospect now. He's on
the Erie Seawolves are actually about to be the most loaded AA team of all time.
Well, I would argue West Michigan, the Whitecaps, were the most loaded.
Because as of right now, they add all those three guys. They still have Tyrone Lorenzo. They still have Roberto Campos,
Max Anderson,
who's a top
right?
20 guy. They still have Max Anderson, who's mashing this season.
Making it out to Erie? God, I've done that twice now in the last 2 days.
The Erie E-Wolves. You know what that sounds like?
E-Wolf?
It sounds like what Northwood should call their e-gaming team.
The E-Wolves?
Or like we're the E-Wolves, you know?
Instead of the Timbies?
That's what I thought
That's
of.
really good. I'm going to have to go talk to our people over at Northwood about
the
that.
Northwood E-Wolves.
Do they might not have an East. I don't know.
No,
if
they do.
Oh, they
do?
have
Like a really notable, it's like a big deal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have known that.
Should have known that.
The Serie E-Wolves. I'm going to have to go make a signing. Are we making it out to Erie to go see this team?
No, that's pretty far.
That is pretty far. Yeah, I'm all set on that.
Maybe Toledo once they're all there, but.
Or Detroit once they're all there.
That is a good one, too.
Thanks. 989-837-6125. We'll hit the news when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on YouTube and live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Let's clean up that yard. Save $3 instantly on select Roundup and Ortho weed killers. Save $10 on 64-ounce spruce, weed, and grass killer. You know what season it is? Grilling season. Free assembly and delivery on grills, $399 and up from brands like Weber and Traeger. Need that deck touched up? Do it and save $10 instantly on a gallon of Cabot exterior stain.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Card to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
Something is amiss at Dow Diamond. The award-winning True Crime Night returns for the Great Lakes Loons on Thursday, July 10th. And this time, our beloved golden bobblehead is missing. It's an evening filled with suspense and intrigue. Join the investigation to uncover the mystery and help solve the case of who framed Lou E. Loon. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). That's our number for the Mitt messages. You guys can drop a comment in the YouTube chat as well if you so desire. Here's what we've got. The news. Let's do it right now.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, like I said earlier, actually a decent amount of news today.
That's always good.
So let's hop into the stuff that we didn't get to the first time around. First up, kind of hinted at it, Alex Bregman set to make his return to the major league level before the All-Star break without any rehab starts coming. So this is big news for the Red Sox, who right now are 47-45, 2 games back in the wild card in the American League. And guess who they're playing in this series starting today? The Rockies, 3 automatic wins. So Boston kind of in a good spot, not looking good for potential trading team, Ben.
I know, because I really wanted Chapman. That would have been the arm I went after. He's got the best ERA and the best whip of his career. His career! And that's a Hall of Fame career right there. I get it. The season's not over. but still one of the most dominant guys that closes games across baseball. To put him in a Tigers uniform, that would look good. That'd look real good. But yeah,
it would look good.
Doesn't look
but
like
he's
they're
also
going
played
to be
for
selling.
too many teams. Like,
what do you mean?
We got to stop adding teams. It's like you kind of lose legend status when you just play for a bunch of different teams. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's different when you're a closer. I'm always going to remember him as a Yankee.
See, I just remember him as a Cub.
I want to remember him as a Tiger, but it looks like they're too close into the wild card.
Yeah, but you do kind of
mix.
remember that, like when Altuve cranks that home run off of him when he knew what pitch was coming. That's like the most memorable moment for sure.
That's true.
Okay, the Pistons, they start Summer League this week. Ron Holland, Chaz Lanier, Bobby Klintman, all to be on the roster. First game Friday against the Knicks at 6. You pretty excited about Summer League this year or what?
Not as much as I have been in years past. Like, I don't know, watching Cade, watching Ivy, even Asar, that was when I was really, really into it. I don't even remember really watching Summer League last year. I'll tune into some Pistons, but I don't think I'm going to be locked in. Because what? Ron Holland probably plays 2 games at most.
Probably.
If he dominates the first game, he probably isn't playing at all. I'd like to tune in and see some Chaz Lanier.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch Chaz. I mean, there's some couple other guys that have made Pistons appearances, like Dennis Jenkins is playing. But yeah, that's what I did. I remember that on today. Like, I'm like, it's a good thing that I'm not excited for Summer League because they actually have more things important to worry about than their top rookie playing in Summer League, you know?
Right, like, can they improve the team this offseason? Answer, probably not.
Right, and let's hop into the next part of the news with that. The Pistons acquire not a player, but a $14.8 million trade player exception after swapping second-round picks with the Kings in the Dennis Schroeder sign-and-trade. So essentially, they had to take on a player that's making that salary. They can't get like 2 guys' salaries that match that. They got to trade for somebody who's making in that $14.8 million range. Yes, they can combine it with like a Tobias Harris contract and go get somebody that's making $40 million. The odds of that happening are super low. The odds of them using this player exception are super low, but it's an option nonetheless.
Malik Monk's not a Piston. I'm unsatisfied.
Okay.
It's just ridiculous that they settled with Duncan Robinson for that price tag. Why did they not just give Luke Kennard $15 million if they were going to give Duncan Robinson a sign and trade 3-year deal? I get it. It's not all guaranteed. It gets weird. It's just a lot of money. It's just a lot of money. I would have rather...
It's a super movable deal.
Is Luke Kennard just not a better player, though?
No.
Are we sure? What about Luke Kennard with Cade Cunningham?
How about Duncan Robinson with Cade Cunningham? Like, why are we not even willing to see this out?
It's just you can't play him and Ivy together. And the team's identity last season...
How often are Ivy and Duncan Robinson going to share the floor together?
Hopefully never. The team's identity last year was defense.
You're sounding like they're going to be on the floor for 30 minutes a night together.
Not that, but this team's identity last year was defense. That's why they made themselves one of the best teams in the NBA for the last 3 months of the season. Guess what? You're adding 2 players to the lineup in Ivy and Duncan that are horrendous defenders. People you have to hide.
All right, trade Ivy then.
No.
Tigers Rays game 2 tonight, 6:40 first pitch. Jack Flaherty is pitching tonight after we thought it might have happened last night. He's taking on Ryan Pepio of the Rays. Tigers, man, not been a great game 2 team. Even though they won game 2 against Cleveland this weekend, looking to keep the win streak going.
Well, they won all the games against Cleveland this weekend.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully they can turn that thing around. Flaherty, I mean, all eyes are on Flaherty for the next 3 weeks, right? Until this deadline comes around.
Yeah.
Whether or not, all 3 of these Flaherty starts from here until the deadline on the 31st are going to be pretty monumental in terms of what the Tigers' plan is, what they want to do at the deadline. Because if Flaherty keeps having these blow-up starts, I'd argue starter's the most important thing. If Flaherty looks like he's pieced things together, then maybe it's a bullpen arm instead.
Right. And I think it's just, they will acquire a bullpen arm, like, no matter what.
I agree.
It's just what contending teams do at the deadline every year. Like, all of them get a bullpen guy. But as far as what the big move is that the major move, getting a headliner bullpen guy? Or do they need to add the starting rotation? It's going to be interesting.
We shall
eyes
see.
on Flaherty.
All eyes on Flaherty.
Okay. Quarterback Season 2 drops today on Netflix. It's got Joe Burrow. It's got Jared Goff.
Yep.
It's got Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts. Is he the fourth one?
I think there's only 3.
Oh, okay. And what we got from it earlier was that Kirk Cousins was misled after the Falcons drafted Michael Penix Jr. Said he had no idea they were going to do it in the first round. And he said he probably would have just went back to Minnesota if he knew that information. Imagine the butterfly effect of that. Like Sam Darnold never has this resurgence in Minnesota, never gets paid by Seattle. Do the Vikings even draft J.J. McCarthy? A ton of stuff is different if that ends up changing.
Yeah. Poor guy. I'm just thinking about it. It's like, you did that guy dirty. He's such a nice guy, and you did him so dirty knowing that you could take advantage of him.
And they did give him the bag, though.
You gave him the bag.
How dirty did you do him?
Kind of dirty. I think he wants to play football. He's such a nice guy. You could have at least given him a heads up on draft night that you were considering it.
Yeah, I do agree. Said he didn't find out until their offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson, told him when they were on the clock.
That's a bad way to
Which
do
I guess
business.
it's better than finding out from watching the TV, but pretty rough.
Back-to-back years, Atlanta has just done some crazy stuff in the draft. Crazy. Because this year they trade away a future first to jump back in, and they take 2 guys in the same position group, 2 edge rushers.
I mean, even the year prior, like, it's worked out, but taking Bijan Robinson 8th at the time was like, whoa. Now, obviously, the running backs getting taken early has kind of been shifted a little bit just because of these crazy good prospects we're getting.
April's Atlanta's favorite time of the year. It's like, this is when we steal
headlines.
headlines.
It's certainly not January, February.
No.
They're not playing that time of year.
Or August. They're not playing in August either. Or July.
Okay.
Or June.
You missed my point of the joke.
Or May.
Projected number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NHL Draft, Gavin McKenna is leaving the WHL, headed to the NCAA, and he's going to Penn State. This is big news for people in this region because he chose the Penn State over Michigan State. That was the final 2. Would have been a huge get for the Spartans, who were a really good hockey team this year, but unfortunately, the number 1 prospect in next year's draft will be going to Penn State.
Tough. Sparty. Hockey school or basketball school?
Basketball school.
Or hockey school.
Like, maybe would have been hockey school if they got Gavin McKenna, but they didn't.
You know, making it as far as they did last year in the March Madness tournament, I think really did solidify them. Like, if they didn't make it out of the first weekend again, I think I'd be hammering the hockey school bell.
Right. Yeah, none of the 8 Final Fours since 2000 were enough. It's this Elite 8
Hold on, I'm not in college
basketball.
Hold on. I'm not in college basketball mode. What is that? 1 in the last 5 years? 1?
That's not that long.
But basketball school, only 1 Elite 8, 5 years. That doesn't add up.
All right, that's it for the news.
You don't have anything else? Or are you just mad at me and want to be done?
No, that's it. I got nothing else. I got plenty more, but let's just call it off.
No. Do you actually have anything else?
No, I don't have anything else.
I saw something during a break that I thought was somewhat relevant. It wasn't really sports related. Oh, yeah. In TSA, you don't have to take your shoes off anymore. That's somewhat newsworthy if you're flying. Yeah.
How does that just pop up?
I don't know. Apparently,
that is actually huge.
Right?
What's worse, having to take your shoes off or having to take your belt off?
Oh, I don't know. When it's like, when you have like an early morning flight, like a pre-7 a.m. flight, and they're like, take your shoes off. Like, oh my God.
Especially if you're rocking some like fire kicks that take a minute to get off.
Is there anything more annoying than getting through TSA and they're like, hold on, we got to look in your bag. Like something popped up. And you know there's nothing in your bag and you're just sitting there like, dude, hurry up, please. I know you're doing your job, but that's got
it is just like the worst
5 feeling.
It's just a bottom 5 feeling in general.
Yeah.
Like just having to go through all that. You said you like the airport though, right?
Once you get through TSA, I actually do enjoy the airport, yeah.
But like that's just a major part of it.
Yes.
It's a main reason why
Yes,
it
it
sucks,
is.
honestly.
Yeah, but you're right. But I like did I already explain this on the show when I had like a 5-hour layover?
I think we did this off air.
I had like a 5-hour layover earlier this year in Denver. And I love that, like, I don't mind the long layovers because I think I walked like 3 miles just going in circles. Then I sat down, had a
5
couple,
hours is kind of long.
Not when you have a podcast to listen to, a book to read, you get a meal, you buy some sunglasses, get a couple drinks at a different place.
I was about to say airport beer guy.
I guess, yeah, I did it that time. Not in airports all that often. But then after you get a couple of those and you've finished your podcast and you've read your book and you've done some other things, it's like, I'm just going to start talking to random people. Because I'm not usually one to go up and just talk to random people. I'm not a very social person. Like, I guess that sounds so weird to say, is like, you know, the radio host,
A guy who talks
on-field
for a
host for the
living, yeah.
Loons, but like one-on-one, I'm just not always comfortable doing it. But in an airport, it's like, I'm never going to see this person again. It does not matter at all. So I just ended up chopping it up with some guy named Dave for like an hour. Boston sports guy. Followed the Mitt. It was crazy. It was awesome. All right. 989-837-6125. We will be right back with our two traditions to close out every show. It is our lock of the day, and it is our Predicting Colin's Open. Hey, if you want to explore Great Lakes shipwrecks and dive into adventure, you got to do it with Dive and Glide. Sign up for an open water dive course at diveandglideinc.com. Learn the skills, practice, and get certified. Whether you're a beginner or brushing up on your skills, they've got the classes to get you underwater with confidence. If you're already a pro, shop the best state-of-the-art gear online. I'm talking fins, regulators, masks, gauges, and more. Visit diveandglideinc.com and gear up for your next underwater adventure. That is diveandglideinc.com, Michigan's home for all things scuba.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland. Summer League is now underway in the NBA. Pistons, they'll start their first game this week, and a couple notable guys that will be on the roster will be playing in Summer League. Obviously, Ron Holland, second-year player, 5th overall pick in the 2024 draft. Chaz Lanier, who was the lone selection in this 2025 draft for the Pistons, taken at the top of the second round, will also be in action. But I gotta say, what I'm looking forward to most with this Pistons Summer League is not caring about it as much as I have in recent years. Now that the Pistons have become a competitive team, going to the playoffs last year, obviously losing in round 1, but coming into this season, their expectations into Summer League are way different than they've been the last few years. I mean, the highlight of the offseason for Pistons fans was gearing up for Summer League the last several years, right? Watching Cade Cunningham, watching Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren that season, watching Asar Thompson, now watching Ron Holland last year. Like, it was just a repeated cycle of looking forward to their top pick in Summer League, which there's nothing wrong with that, but Summer League should not be at the top of concerns for a good basketball team. Yes, I will be tuning into Summer League. No, I will not be fully invested like I have been the last several years because the Pistons have more important priorities this season, winning a playoff series. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland.
Hey parents, got a young athlete at home? Sign them up for the Greater Midland Try Kids Try Youth Triathlon, Saturday, July 19th at Plymouth Park in Midland. Kids ages 6 to 15 will swim, bike, and run their way through the finish line in a fun, supportive environment. And don't miss the mini TKT for ages 3 to 5 happening Friday, July 18th. Register now at greatermidland.org/races. That's greatermidland.org/races.
Something is amiss at Dow Diamond. The award-winning True Crime Night returns for the Great Lakes Loons on Thursday, July 10th. And this time, our beloved golden bobblehead is missing. It's an evening filled with suspense and intrigue. Join the investigation to uncover the mystery and help solve the case of who framed Lou E. Loon. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
At Sandy Ridge, our completely renovated clubhouse is ready for you. With a brand new full kitchen, a spacious deck, and plenty of room for any event, it's the perfect spot for weddings, parties, or any special gathering. And that's not all. Our hole 16 green has been redesigned and is better than ever. Plus, our greens are the truest around, on par with the top courses, but at a price that fits your budget. Come visit us today at Sandy Ridge and see why we're the perfect choice for your next event.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we've got 2 traditions to close out the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt. First up, it is our Lock of the Day.
Lock of the Day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
We lost yesterday. I'm doing the same thing. Riley Green, 2 total bases. Yeah. We suck at gambling. Yeah. Riley Green has a over 1,000 OPS versus the Rays pitcher tonight. In his career, he's 2 for 7. Already has a home run against him. That's going to be our pick. 2 total bases. I don't want to talk about Lock of the Day any further because it's gone so bad for the past 3 weeks.
More like L of the Day, right?
L of the Day. Riley Green turns things around for us today. Kyle, if you'd like to tell the people.
I do have to update people on the stats.
Go ahead.
I feel like it's my due diligence. Currently, this is the all-time low for units down on the show. 4.76 units down. Just 1 unit down in the week, obviously. 8-15-1 record all-time. And worth noting, got my first dub on Taylor Fade yesterday. So I'm 1.
Well, at least one of us is winning.
Pick.
At least one of us is winning.
Yes. So yeah, I guess we're moving on from Lock of the Day.
I would love nothing more than to move on from Lock of the Day. All right, that is our Lock of the Day.
Lock of the Day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Okay. I like this tradition a little bit more because I'm winning. Am I still winning? Did you get a point yesterday?
Yeah, I'm updating the scoreboard really quick.
None of us got a point yesterday because Colin was off and 2 guys opened with firework talk. So neither of us predicted that one.
And most of the time they'll open with something for like a minute and then they get into the actual lead.
Nope.
Their lead was 15 minutes of like firework talk. And honestly,
I agreed with everything they were saying.
It was kind of interesting. Like it was some good conversation.
I agreed with everything they were saying. People just be lighting off fireworks for no reason after the 4th of July. It's kind of annoying.
And I'm just out on fireworks, man.
I don't love them. They just haven't gotten better in any way, shape, or form. It's the same fireworks show most years. So those 2 guys are back today, just so you know.
Oh, they are?
They are. They said they'd be here to...
Good for telling me.
I'm like 90% sure on that.
Right. See, if it was Colin back, I would just simply go Lakers. But I won't. There's just not any notable news.
Nope.
Here's where I'm going to go, though.
You're up first today, right?
I am up first today, yes. The quarterback show came out. I'm going to go Joe Burrow Bengals talk. I don't love it. I don't think it's going to hit. But what, are they leading with Paulo Banchero extension? Are they leading with the riveting 3-team trade we got in the NBA yesterday? Like, there just isn't a lot going on. So I go to a crutch, which is football. A little bit relevant is Burrow. I will take the Burrow Bengals discussion.
I think the Paulo stuff is relevant enough if it was any other market other than Orlando. It's just too niche of a market.
What is relevant about it? Oh, he got paid. No crap. Like, he was obviously going to get paid.
Good point. College football came out yesterday, but it's not really a college football show. It's not a college football show, really, unless it's USC.
Like Arch Manning talk?
USC, Arch, yeah. I'll go your avenue, but I'm going to go the Kirk Cousins route.
I don't mind that.
The quarterback show comes out. Kirk Cousins got screwed by Atlanta. Didn't even know about it. But I don't even know the take. I don't even know what the take is supposed to be.
Oh, man.
This is the worst time of the year
screwed.
for both lock of the day and for predicting Colin's open.
This is why Colin is not in.
Yeah, Colin was like, you know what?
What would he talk about?
This is too hard, so I'm actually all good.
No, he would find something.
He would find something,
no, actually,
but he was like, nah.
What we should have done is, since these guys led with fireworks yesterday,
we should have led
I should have thought of what non-sports thing they're going to lead with today.
Probably,
like this
maybe
TSA
mustaches.
thing.
Mustaches?
Right.
Hot
There's
dogs?
nothing relevant going on in the world.
Nothing relevant? Well, okay. You know how we find out what's relevant going on in the world? We open Actually Everything app and see what's trending worldwide. What's trending worldwide right now is, oh, God. The number one thing trending, oh, God.
Okay, let's not do this.
Did you just look?
No.
Do you want to know what it is?
Wait, like sports?
Oh, no. No.
Then no, I don't care.
Are you sure you don't want to know?
Go for it.
The number one thing trending in the world right now, I don't know why, is Jeffrey Epstein.
Must have been some news about the list.
It looks like it. It looks like it.
Like they might lead with that.
Not going down that avenue, tell you that. That's
tough day for it.
There's not a whole lot going on in the sports world, man. That's why Colin be taking all these days off. Not us, though. Not us.
I am already seeing clips of Goff and the Lions in the quarterback show. I will be watching it.
Today?
I wish I could just watch the Lions part.
Fast forward everything else. I mean, there is a fast forward button. You could do that. You just said that's what you wanted, and I gave you a solution on how to do that, and you said boring?
That's too much effort.
Not if you're what are you watching?
I just want a Lions only
PC
edition
or TV.
Probably phone.
You just want okay. How about this? Rewatch Hard Knocks, or watch an episode of Inside the Den.
Years ago, man.
Watch an episode of Inside the Den.
Could.
Did you ever watch the coaching one of all the new coaches?
No, I haven't yet. I do need to watch that.
There you go. There you got 20 minutes of Lions content produced by the Lions about the new coaches for you. That's if you need some football fever itch. That's what I would recommend if you're specifically looking for a Lions thing. Or what I would recommend is just search The Ben Bosscher Show wherever you get your podcasts, or go to YouTube and you can just watch the whole thing rather than just listen to it. See some occasional graphics at times as well, like the scoreboard right now of me winning 7-6 on Colin's Open. You know, for as bad as Lock of the Day is gone, this makes me feel good that I at least have a 1-point lead in
You're like kind
department.
of choking, though.
No, I'm not. I'm winning.
It was
How am I choking?
7-4.
Oh,
What if I rip this today? No, it's not hitting.
Yeah, they're going to lead with something so obscure that we would have never been able to predict. Firework talk. Get out of here. Firework talk. Okay. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back on Wednesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Oh, we're giving away tickets tomorrow. Detroit Tigers tickets to the Seattle Mariners game for this weekend.
10:15.
10:15.
Be there.
You better tune in. We're giving away tickets. Is Tarek School on the Mountain Saturday or Friday? I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, we're giving away tickets to that at 10:15 a.m. tomorrow. So I hope you tune into that. You got to be listening. Got to be ready to text in. Those are the only qualifications to do so. Go ahead and follow us on social media.
Scooble Saturday. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us there. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to watch the show as well. I did have someone reach out to me and ask, hey, I don't really need to watch the show, but how can I listen if I'm not in the car? Well, download 100.9 The Mitt's app or go to 100.9themitt.com, and you'll be able to do either of those things that way. You can listen mowing your lawn, going on, when you're in the store, getting groceries. Right.
You don't
Listen
have
to Loons.
You don't have to ever turn the Ben Bosscher Show or the Loons off, or Colin Cowherd, or Anthony Bellino in the mornings, or Huge in the afternoons. You got it all right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, the Great Lakes Bay region's home for local sports. All right. Like I said, we will be back tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, closing out week 5 of the Ben Bosscher Show, week 6. Man, time is flying. Feels like we just launched this thing yesterday. It's been over a month. Wild stuff. Thanks for everyone who making this possible. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Always a good time chilling with you guys in the morning. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. That was the Ben Bosscher Show right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. Hope it was worth it. See ya.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.